It is week number 6 of high school football here in Ohio, and week 6 of our CVC TV game of the week right here on ChagrinValleyConference.com and CVC TV on YouTube. And remember to hit that like and subscribe button so you can see some of the best teams in action, including here tonight, the Independence Blue Devils on the road, only a few miles away from their home turf, to face off against their rivals, the Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves, right on East 71st. Hello, everybody. Double A Anthony Alfred will be joined momentarily by my broadcast partner, Kyle Cornell, when we talk to both head coaches as we get you set and ready for this all-important rivalry game, a matchup that Cuyahoga Heights took a year ago, but both teams looking to get back to their physical brand of football. And what better night to shine than right here tonight in front of a rivalry crowd. And it's going to be really, really special to see this matchup in action. We'll talk about it with both head coaches as we count you down to kickoff right here on the CVC TV Game of the Week. Back after this. Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery is this year's title sponsor for CVC TV. Their practice diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com. That's ohsurgery.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Again, the pregame show for our matchup tonight, of course, being Independence taking on Cuyahoga Heights. First off, we have the Independence head coach, Rick Adams, with us here today. Coach, how we doing?
Doing good. It's always a good week when we're playing Cuyahoga Heights. It's a big rival every week, every year for us. So we always gear up for this week.
Yeah, talk to me about the kind of the thought process with the guys. I know it's been a good week of practice. You guys are leading up. It's been a couple rough games in a row here, but kind of maybe a little bit revitalized because you just mentioned, too, going up against a team in Heights that you guys obviously have a big rivalry with.
Yeah, we it's always a special week. We come in and the kids just it's just a different feeling coming into this week, and we're starting out the CVC 0-0. So that's our goal right now, is to win the CVC, and at the end of the season, we're going to see where we end up. But in order to do that, we have to get this game, and so it's a huge one for us, and it will help us get right back on track.
Coach Adams, we'll talk a little bit more about the CVC schedule in just a second, but for those who want to know, that's watching, about the Independence Cuyahoga Heights rivalry, what this rivalry means. Just explain to the audience what this means for your program and for the communities, for both Independence and, of course, defending against Cuyahoga Heights.
Yeah, it's definitely pride because we're communities that are right next to each other. The kids know each other very well. And so just that sense of pride for that whole year that, we beat you guys, and you just hold your head up high around the whole walking around the whole neighborhood. And when you're at church and everything, and you see those guys, some of the kids from Heights there, it's just everywhere you go, the pizza shop or shopping, it's just that special feeling that we kicked your butt this year, and you hold your head up high, man. It's huge.
Definitely is, Coach. And I kind of want to talk about the season to this point, too. I know the roster is a little bit smaller than maybe we're normally seeing, too, in that aspect of it. What's kind of been the challenge with having less guys, a lot of guys playing both ways? I know usually every team has some kids that do that, but this year it seems like there's a few more maybe than normal that kind of have to take on that responsibility. How do you kind of handle that, and how do you keep the guys obviously as fresh as you can when they're going through the game, because it's a lot playing both sides of the football?
It was tough. We lost. We had a good handful of kids that didn't come back this year. Some were wanted to concentrate on other sports, just time commitment, things like that. So we have a lot of guys going both ways. We probably, out of our 11 positions, we probably have 9 to 10 going both ways. And so it is challenging trying to, it's like, okay, we're going to talk when you get off the sideline, but we're like, oh, nobody comes off to the sideline. So even special teams, well, we'll talk when we punt. No, everyone's still on there.
Yeah.
So we have focused, being in condition, we have to be in condition. So we focused on that this year, knowing that our guys are going to be going not just both ways, but, when you add punt return, kickoff return, field goal, extra point, they're really not coming off for any of that. So we have to be in condition. Our coaches have helped out in practice because some of our coaches had to step in and help out on scout team. It's been really challenging. I've coached at bigger schools, and this is really where you really do a lot of coaching because you have to be creative in setting up game-like situations with the minimal amount of guys that we have. Going into Kirtland, we had 16 guys dressed, but I give our guys so much credit. We didn't give in. We didn't throw in the towel. We went and battled, and I was so proud of our guys because, it would have been easy to say, to call Coach Laverty and say, hey, we only got 16 guys. We're going to cancel. We're not going to do that. That's not the lesson. That's not the lesson that we're teaching our kids. When things get tough, we're going to just throw the towel in. No, we're going to battle. And we're just going to keep getting up and keep fighting. And, eventually, things are going to go our way.
Independence head coach, Coach Adams here with us. Talk a little bit. You talked about the body count with the roster and whatnot. So your captains, your leaders might need a little bit more from those guys. Talk a little bit to our audience about your leaders and your captains on your football team.
Yeah, they, are guys that have stood up in this off season in double sessions and everything, and they're guys that the rest of the team has looked to. Unfortunately, a couple of them are banged up, and so they're not at 100%, and that's frustrating. Not only do we have lower numbers, we have guys that are like at 75, 80%. So trying to put them in the best situation to be successful is challenging, knowing that, hey, they're not at 100%. So maybe we can't call that one play that we normally would call and things like that. But, with those guys battling each week, I think it sends a message to the rest of the team that, hey, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep, we're just not going to give up. We're going to have that grittiness about everything and just keep fighting.
Coach, you mentioned, obviously, we've talked about the rivalry between you guys and Cuyahoga Heights pretty regularly in this interview, and it's no secret, obviously, how much it is. I know you know them well. What kind of stands out from the Red Wolves that you guys are kind of planning for and kind of planning against when you look at that team right now? They've had an up-and-down season 2 to this point, obviously, as well. Kind of what do you see that really stands out on maybe offense and defense that you have to kind of prepare for when you're facing them this week?
Number one, Coach Martin, he's a great coach, so they're going to be well coached. They're not going to make a lot of mistakes. So when they do have that rare mistake, we got to capitalize on that. We have to stop their dive. Their offense starts off on the dive, and then it goes from there. Then they go to the quarterback keep, then they go to the option, then they go to the play action off that. So but it starts with the dive. If we're shutting the dive down, then we're forcing them to go to their plan Bs. Then they'll come out and they'll go some empty. And so we have to be ready in the secondary, and our front four has to get pressure on that when they go to their empty. And then they do a heavy set, on short yardage and stuff. And, we have to really be tough up front, and our linebackers to really, if we can shut that down, we'll be okay. If they get big chunks of yardage on that, they're going to stay in it. I would, if we're not stopping them. So we have to be really tough up front. But they do a great job. He marries plays where they're going to show dive, and here they come with the pop pass, or here comes the counter. So we have to be really, really disciplined. That's what we worked on this week. We tried to show them, try to give them scenarios. And then there's always that unknown. Every coach has that play that you hold and you wait for this week. You haven't shown it all, and you're waiting to put your hand in the bag to pull that out. So we have to just be ready for that unknown.
Coach, you mentioned at the beginning of the interview about getting off to a good start now that we're in the meat of the CVC schedule. Talk about the importance going into the second half of the season and facing through with that CVC schedule?
Yeah, so we can't go back. We can't go back in time. That's living in the past. We got to focus on right now, and that's what we're doing. We're taking each game as we play it, and as we do that, we're anticipating. Come week 10, we're right in the mix for CVC championship, and we are Division 7 this year, so we haven't played anybody in Division 7 yet. We've played 4, we played Division 5, we've played Division 6. So our mindset is we can get to the CVC, top of the CVC champs, put us in a position to be in the playoffs in Division 7, and we can make some noise in Division 7.
Definitely looking forward to that, Coach, and wishing you the best of luck. It's Coach Rick Adams, head coach for the Independence Blue Devils. Coach, we'll see you on the field, and best of luck tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery is this year's title sponsor for CVC TV. Their practice diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com. That's ohsurgery.com.
Back into the pregame show here, of course, matchup tonight between the Independence Blue Devils and the home Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves. Now joining us is the coach of the Red Wolves. Again, it is Al Martin. Sir, thank you so much for taking some time and talking with us about the game tonight and your season so far.
Thanks. Love to be here. I appreciate you guys.
Well, let me just start here, Coach. When you watch your football team play, we know what to expect, which is probably a great thing. Talk a little bit about your offense and the physicality that you expect from your offense that the fans are going to see later on today.
Well, we hope to be physical. We try to run the ball. We try to establish a running game. We don't want the game to end at 11:30 at night like some of these games do these days, but we need to be more physical. We haven't been as physical as we'd like to be. We're a little bit of a work in progress up front right now. We've been the guys have been a little frustrated, I think, with the progress. We got to get there a little bit sooner than we have. We obviously didn't play well last week against Kirtland. They're obviously a very physical football team, but we're going in the right direction. It's just a little bit slower than we'd like, but I think we got the guys up front who are going to get there eventually, and hopefully this week is where they kind of turn the corner.
Coach, how do you manage that? Because I know obviously you had some momentum going into the game last week, and Kirtland is just what they are, right? I mean, they're a powerhouse. You guys are on that level too, as far as consistently always seem to be right in the mix for the CVC and obviously the playoffs and everything as well. But to have a result like that, how do you keep the guys up for this matchup too? Because Independence is a rivalry game. You guys have that back and forth. You're right next door to each other. How do you kind of rebound quickly off that? How do you get? Because we're talking about high schoolers here. We're not talking about college athletes or pros. I mean, it's natural to be like, man, that sucked last week, man. I'm so mad right now. Like, how do you kind of manage all that and channel it into success on the football field? Because you've done it so well to this point.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, because unlike some schools, like we've had some success against them in the past, and it might seem like a while ago, but it wasn't that long ago when we were either, some games where we beat them a couple of times, but even when we lost, we played them tough. And then, lately it hasn't been that, but our kids who are now on the team and even our seniors and some of the young guys, they remember when we were going toe to toe with them, and that's kind of what they expect. And we go into every game against them expecting to be right there and to be able to go down to the wire and have a chance to win. And it hasn't been like that, so it is really frustrating. And sometimes I think it's easier on the kids to bounce back than us older coaches. Like we get frustrated too. You don't like getting your butts kicked, and but it kind of tells you where you're at, and you see how far you got to go. And last year, we kind of used it as a measuring stick, and we were determined not to lose again, and we didn't in the rest of the regular season until we got back and had to play them again. So we got to use that same thing this year. It's like, okay, they showed us where we're at, and we got a long way to go, but we got to work hard and get better. And it helps having a rivalry game, I think, next. It really does, because it's not hard to get up for a school like Independence. They like to play us, we like to play them. So it helps a little bit in that regard. Obviously, after you play Kirtland, you're a little bit beat up. So that's something you got to get past, and some teams choose not to play all their players against Kirtland. We always play all our guys because we try to win. So, but that's not the case with some teams. So we're a little bit banged up, but we've been banged up all year, and we've developed some depth. We got some young guys who stepped up, and they're having a good week of practice. So we're hoping that they're ready to go Friday.
Right.
Coach, let's talk about this little old game between you guys and Independence. No big deal. It's only a rivalry game. It's only, the neighborhood. Right. No, this is a huge deal. And everyone gets excited for this matchup. We're honored to have the call for this matchup again. I believe the second or third year in a row we've had this game. Talk to the audience from your perspective how, why this rivalry is a huge deal.
Well, we're so close to them. Our kids and their kids grow up playing a lot of rec sports together, and some of our families have moved into Independence, some of their families have moved into our town, so everybody knows each other, and these relationships go back a long time. Anytime you're playing people and you've grown up competing against, it just takes on a little bit bigger meaning. It's important that our kids understand and their kids understand that it's still about competition and sportsmanship, and sometimes that rivalry gets a little too heated in some cases, and you don't like to see that. So we're going to go out and try to play our best football game. And, yeah, we're going to be excited to play Independence. But really, we got so many things we got to take care of on our end to be a better football team that's really the focus this week. It's really not on Independence as much as it's on us to correct the things that we haven't done very well so far this year.
Well, Coach, definitely want to know more about kind of what you're looking for from your team this week. But I have to ask you one more question about Independence because the roster for them is significantly less than we've seen in recent years. I think Coach even said last week they only had about 16 kids that dressed to play, which is crazy to think about when you talk about Independence and the football pedigree they normally always have. And it's just been tough with some kids having different different sports they're focusing on, whatever it is. Some kids just going to different school districts, whatever the case may be. Does it change the way you prepare your team when you have a team like that is playing so many kids both ways and they have a smaller roster? I mean, is there a different kind of game plan that you think of in your head when it comes to playing smaller schools as opposed to like, a D3 or a D2 school that has 60 kids on the varsity team? Like, how do you is there a difference in between there at all for you at all?
There might be in some cases. I think if you're playing, like if you kind of compare them to Curl, just the number of bodies and the way they wear on you, the style of football, you have to be prepared to play more guys, I think. So during practice and that week preparing, you're rotating guys a little bit more, just expecting guys to maybe need a break to come out to get a player or two off. If you're going against a team maybe with some less guys, maybe that's not part of what you're thinking. But again, for us this year, we've had so many injuries and we have so many guys playing positions for the first time. That it's just we've been all out every day just to try to get our kids up to speed and get to the point where we look like a really good football team out there. So that's really been our focus. I mean, when I started coaching here, when I was a head coach back in 1997, they had one of the best small schools programs in the state of Ohio. I mean, DeCarlo and Mark Rafe and those guys, I mean, they were really, really good. And they've had a really good tradition for many years. And they, like a lot of other small schools, have had some trouble with numbers. It's just hard, the small schools and just with the climate of sports in today's world at the college level, everything kind of creeps down to high school level. Kids are trying to go to other schools and getting recruited. And it's frustrating when you're at a small public school where guys are leaving and going to other places when you've had a good tradition at your own school and you have good academics at your own school. It's really hard to see good kids and good families leave and go elsewhere. So that's tough, and I think they've suffered from some of that, and other schools have. We've been fortunate. We've lost some really good players. We've probably got 4 really good players playing at private schools right now who really could help us, and we look like a really different football team with them. But we're really happy with the guys we have. Our community still supports football. Our kids are all in, and we're just going to try to get better this week and get back to the point where we feel like we can make a run at the conference title and make a run in the playoffs again.
Yeah.
So I have to admit to you, Coach, one of my favorite players was on your team, Francis Connors. And I know now you got to graduate sometime, and he did. So talk to us about some of the players that the fans should expect to see from your team coming up tonight.
Yeah, Francis was a great one. I went back and watched some of the film last couple of years, and he had some really good games against Independence. We could surely use him this Friday. But, yeah, I mean, our linebackers, have big shoes to fill. But Kyle Porter's been playing inside for a number of years now, and he's he's a really good player inside. Our perimeter guys defensively, Zach Unger, Nick Armbrust, Tamir Julius, Cooper Casilla, Devin Dezek. Those guys have played a lot of football, and a couple of them are really ball hawks. We really feel good when the ball's in the air about going to cover people and going to get it. Up front, we've been rotating a lot of guys, looking for a little bit more consistency down there. We got to be strong in there because Independence, they can throw really good, and they got some good targets. They also can run the ball. The quarterback can run. They got a nice running back who's a physical kid. And then offensively, some of those same guys play two ways. We play a lot of guys two ways, but those skill kids we lean on both sides of the ball, that group that I just mentioned. And Zach Schaefer's a young sophomore quarterback who's really getting better. I thought he really played well against Kirtland, against good football players last week. He made some really good throws. It did lead to a ton of points for us, but I thought he made a lot of progress. Our offensive line made some progress last week. Again, couldn't really tell maybe based on the yards, but I could tell our guys understood a little bit better what they're trying to do out there. So I expect our offensive line, who's kind of Aiden Flynn's kind of the center of that at center. He played center last year for us. He's kind of the leader in that group right there. So I expect them to keep getting better as the year goes on.
All right, Coach. Well, listen, we appreciate you taking time and obviously stopping by and talking to us. Before we let you go, I've been asking coaches this throughout the season. We're already crazy to think about it, like at the halfway point, and some situations past it. But
unbelievable.
I mean, you're about to walk out onto your field Friday night. What are you telling the guys to get them ready for this rivalry game? What are you going to say to them to get them ready to go?
Yeah, it's just my big concern against Indy is you're too geeked up, you're too emotional, and then you're not playing your game. So we're going to tell our guys it's one snap at a time. Do your job every play. Trust your teammates. Make sure each play you're playing as hard as you can and leave it all on the field.
By the way, this will not be the last time we see Coach Martin. Girls basketball, that's coming up pretty soon. Want to give a little preview about what to expect from that?
Yeah, we had a good summer. We got a lot of really good, nice girls, good leaders on our team. We graduated a really, really strong senior class that took us, or junior senior class last year that won the league for us and took us deep into the tournament. But we got some really good girls coming back, and we got some young girls who are going to really add to the varsity team this year. So we're excited there also.
I'm pumped. It's going to be fun. Not only obviously to watch you guys this Friday, but of course the girls basketball season 2. All of it's going to be great. Can't find a bad Cuyahoga Heights game to go see at this point. I feel like it's always good.
It's a beautiful stadium, beautiful place to play. We appreciate you guys covering us.
It really is great. Again, Coach Al Martin, Cuyahoga Heights Red Bulls action, of course, hosting Independence, big rivalry game tonight here on CVC TV. Coach, as always, thank you so much for your time and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to learn how to be a producer, DJ, on-air talent, or influencer? Visit beonair.com and discover a media school that's changing the game. We have 7 campuses across the country, and you can graduate in as little as 8 months. No math or English classes here, just classes that interest you and give you hands-on experience with real-world professionals in the media industry. And there's financial aid available for those who qualify. Stop sleepwalking through life. Show up for your dreams. Visit beonair.com and take the free career assessment. beonair.com.
The beautiful and our national anthem. Our national anthem will be sung tonight by Miss Riley Connors. Superintendent, Board of Education, and the entire Cuyahoga Heights School District would like to thank all of the men and women and families of our United States military both past and present. Their unselfish service and sacrifice have allowed us to freely to safely chase our dreams in this wonderful country. We thank you. At 28 will be raising the flag tonight.
Welcome in, folks. High school football back on your airwaves tonight here on Chagrin Valley Conference TV. The matchup, the home Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves taking on the visiting Independence Blue Devils here on CVC TV. Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony Alford with you on the call as always for the matchup. We are underway in division play this week, AA. It's the Metro CVC division on air tonight. Two teams that are separated by just a few miles and a lot of rivalry, AA.
A ton of rivalry here tonight. And I got to tell you, only separated by Brecksville Road and East 71st. I mean, the rain, there's a little bit of rain, but it will not matter as both of these teams and their fans are beyond ready for this contest.
It's going to be an awesome night. Of course, we can't talk about the Independence Cuyahoga Heights rivalry without mentioning tonight's scoreboard sponsor. It's Romito's Pizza, located on Brecksville Road over in Independence. Enjoy the CVC TV game of the week with the best sheet pizza in town. Pepperoni, supreme, meat lovers, or cheese, it does not matter. Romito's Pizza has you covered. You can place your order right now. Just call 216-524-8858. That's 216-524-8858 so you can enjoy some Romito's Pizza again tonight for this awesome CVC matchup with two teams that may or may not try to go to Romito's a little bit later on, and we'll just separate them.
Might have pregame there, honestly.
You never know. Last night, maybe you got a nice little team dinner in.
Right there in the heart of Independence, Ohio. And this matchup here tonight is going to be pretty special. We think about, honestly, last year, Mike Connors, who's the owner of Romito's Pizza, his son, Francis Connors, was a running threat last year. He graduated. So I'm curious to see who are going to be the deep running threats for Cuyahoga Heights as they try to get things going on the field in this rain against this Independence team that is athletic, a little bit small as far as roster size, but they're locked in, ready to go.
I used all my fingers and my toes and had to add one more. 21 total players on the Independence roster dressed tonight that we could see down on the field. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle, again, the numbers. At one point this season, you heard, obviously, in the pregame show, AA, Independence only had 16 players dressed 1 week. So it's been tough with the roster size, but they've been able to make it work. They do have a win. Happened, of course, back in week 2. Past 3 weeks, though, have not scored a point. Independence looking to change that tonight.
Yeah, and this is where you have to get off to a great start. Defensively, they're going to have to do it. And in this rain, look, you're going to see the best stuff from Cuyahoga Heights on the field offensively. So defensively, can Independence come through? Now, one thing I do remember from our matchup last year, Independence, is this kickoff formation. It's a very unique, stacked kickoff formation. But here we are, 7 o'clock on the nose, 7:01. And Kyle, we're ready to go.
73 degrees and some rain falling here at Cuyahoga Heights High School. Our second consecutive week here, and now we get the home team as the Home Heights Red Bulls take on the visiting Blue Devils here on CVC TV. Your game of the week is underway. The kickoff is down, and now to bouncing at the 25-yard line. It's going to go backwards and eventually get picked up by Diedzik. He turns upfield and runs out of bounds just past the 20-yard line, and that is where sophomore quarterback Zach Schaefer and company will get things underway.
And in a rivalry game, something that Coach Martin talked about, head coach of Cuyahoga Heights, 28 years, by the way, something he talked to us about on the pregame show. You get so wrapped up for this game, it's almost his job to bring the guys a little bit down, just so, hey, your job is to get your responsibilities, make your blocks. The emotion is going to be there.
One snap at a time was the goal for Coach Martin and company. Let's see it. 1st and 10 on their own 20. Shaver going to ham on the inside. It's a solid run through and near a first down right at the line. Solid carry up the middle. And it is going to be enough. 11 yards for a first down for Cuyahoga Heights.
And with Coach Martin being here, you know what to expect. If you're watching Cuyahoga Heights for the first time, it's going to be diving plays, like a lot of dives, a lot of running back dives. It's going to be a matter of who gets it, but he wants to establish dominance up front, and it starts with that. Independence needs to be ready.
So already a first down on this drive as Heights looks to move it again. And a flag coming out. It's going to be a false start coming down on the Red Wolves, so they'll move back 5 yards. It's the only downside when you have so many moving pieces with the run game AA is sometimes you can jump a little bit too quick.
And those are the communication factors that's locked in. Those are the things that both of these teams were trying to clean up. So we head into knee-deep in the conference play now, week 6.
Yeah, we're officially past the halfway point technically of the regular season here. And for both of these teams. And Heights 2-2. Independence 1-4. And 1st and 15 now. It's going to be a handoff on the inside. I believe that was Gavin Chamberlain on the inside that maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard if that.
And that's what they're going to have to lock down on is getting that containment. Now, again, the other factor, too, this is not all they run offensively, but they want to establish that up front. But you still got to be aware, got to communicate out there. If you're the defense, read your keys. But a good defense to start.
So it's 2nd and 15 at their own 26-yard line for the Red Wolves. Got a first down, but a penalty put them back a few yards here. Schaefer turns. Kind of keeping himself pitched to the outside. It's a good pitch, and it's a solid gain of a few yards there. But a great job by Independence to get to the outside and get the stop.
Maintaining the responsibilities, right? Your job there as the defender, defensive end, quarterback containment. You check in on the quarterback. You get or the first option, the running back, pitched out there. And you're going to have a long third down coming up.
You know, Zarnbrust on the outside who got the pitch and just really had not very far to go at all. It's going to be 3rd down and long, maybe a yard or two if that. It looked like maybe he was going to turn the corner there, AA, but great job by Independence to close that gap. So here we go in the shotgun now. Schaefer looking to pass, throwing middle. It is caught. No, it's dropped in and out of the hands of the receiver. And there's an injured player down. It is the receiver on the field. And that is number 8, Devin Diedzik. and he took a shot over the middle of that field, Double-A, and that is not good.
Yeah, that's tough, too. And you also see, too, that rain is coming down. During pregame, not much of anything as far as the rain, but now as the game starts, you got that going on.
Yeah, chance to talk to you about our presenting sponsor for CVC TV. It's the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. Also, if you got a tree emergency or need tree care from the experts, well, call Taz Tree Service at 440-567-0962. With over 25 years of experience, they specialize in tree removal, trimming, stump grinding, and more. Their fully insured team offers swift responses and affordable pricing, ensuring peace of mind and top-notch service. Visit ChagrinFallsTreeRemovalServices.com to book your appointment today. That's Taz Tree Service, dependable, professional, and ready to meet all your tree care needs. Well, Double-A, still some concern down on the field as Devin Dietzick remains on his stomach. He has not moved since the injury. He was wiggling around a little bit with his arms, and then now he's obviously laying still. Just some concern for the young man who was on the homecoming court, and now this is something you really never want to talk about, as the stretcher is being taken out onto the field. Over the middle on a 3rd down and long, went for the slant pass, ball a little behind him, and took a shot. It's football, but at the same point, obviously wishing,
it's tough,
hoping that
yeah,
he's going to be okay. And beyond obviously the impact of the young man as a football player, we know what Devin Dietzick means. Obviously, we see him in basketball as well usually, but hoping that the Dietzick family, prayers are for them right now, as Devin is attended to by essentially the entire staff over there that's on the field for Cuyahoga Heights. Players taking a knee and a rough situation. And Double-A, we talked about the rivalry in this game and how these two teams, really it means a lot to come into this game. And still, I imagine both sides, you don't want this to be a result when it comes down to it.
No, of course not. And, there's no, right words to say other than prayers at this point. But, of course, the trainers and the coaches and whatnot, this is why the trainers are the unsung heroes of every athletic staff, just making sure that you get the best care. And a lot of times, too, is, even if you want to pop back up, like, hey, let's take precaution, make sure things are good.
And again, Dietzick had run a slant over the middle of the field, Double-A, on a play that's routine. We saw it in warm-up, too. But for some reason, again, ball a little bit behind. We know, obviously, what conditions, too. And then, just took a big shot.
Yeah, and obviously we're not going to speculate on, what the injury could be, of course.
Yeah,
but you're right. I mean, it gets tough, of course, over the middle.
When you talk about that's the impact zone when you're playing football, when you're a slot receiver, or if you're a tight end especially, and you're playing the middle of the field. A lot of contact in between the numbers is what they like to call as the rain continues to pour down now here at Cuyahoga Heights. And
that's the other, making sure things are good too, is just you got that extra rain coming down, like, hey, let's make sure things are in good working order.
Looks like they're still attending to Devin Dietzick down on the field. Again, starting receiver here for the Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves. Again, if you're just joining us, score 0-0 with 10 minutes plus to go as they're now wheeling over the stretcher and getting it closer to him. It was a 3rd down and long in the opening drive of the ball game, and Cuyahoga Heights had thrown a pass over. And now you see Independence obviously saying a prayer for Devin. We know it's never part of the game. You never want to see this, and can appreciate Independence obviously doing that.
And you talked about his career, of course.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he's been all over the place.
I mean, every time we've covered Cuyahoga Heights, every
like the
time.
name just seems to come up every time we're doing something with the Red Wolves, whether it's football, basketball, whatever it is. He's a name that's known, and that the last name Dietzick is known throughout the community. And, of course, hoping and praying for Devin as he is been put on the stretcher and will be taken off here shortly for more medical attention, and praying for the best.
Part of the homecoming
he
court
was
as well. They had the phenomenal ceremonies before the game.
Which is always a fun treat. Get to walk out with your family, your parents, things like that, and enjoy that on homecoming night.
But
again, a tough turn here is we'll keep it as obviously we wait for play to resume and waiting for Devin Diedzik to get taken off the field here.
And
an unfortunate event.
And again, if anybody's curious, we do not show injuries on CVC TV. We just don't.
We do end up talking a little bit because we know it's part of the game. But you're right, Double A. Yeah, we don't want to obviously just have the camera on the person hurt too. But at the same point, yeah, respecting the player and their privacy and everything as well is important. And obviously, a chance for us to talk even more about the impact of this game, especially in the Metro Division in the CVC AA, where things are wide open. You talk about the team with the best record right now is Wycliffe at 3-2, but no one's played a conference game until tonight. It's as far as division game in the conference here. This division, if any of them, seems to be kind of like anyone's ball game at this point.
Oh, definitely. And it just was interesting. It's just like, okay, we know what to expect from both of these teams, but both coaching staffs are like, we got to clean things up. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to, and this is usually the time. Week 6, you get your introductory stuff in already. Now week 6, you know what you're doing. We've been through camp already. So now it's time to really define who you are as a football team. And this is the time right now to make that happen.
And he talked to both coaches you saw before in the pregame if you stayed with us and watched beforehand. But, just really a lot of hope going into this, last little stretch of the season, second half of the year in division that, hey, we feel like we can make a run. Both teams feel like they can make a solid run. For Cuyahoga Heights, obviously, usually the game after Kirtland in the midpoint of the season is when they seem to turn the Jets on and start to win and roll off some big wins in a row. And for Independence, trying to kind of salvage the season after a great start at 1-1 and being competitive in the past few weeks. It's been a little bit tough, but again, just impressive for both teams to have the momentum from the coaching staff, like, hey, we can do this, and both had good weeks of practice here. And
yeah, we talked to both coaches, Coach Adams over Independence, Coach Martin here in Cuyahoga Heights during our pregame. They're both in great spirits, as far as like, hey, we could really get things going and get things turned around and whatnot. And again, listen, we don't talk about playoffs until next week, until October, week 7 and whatnot. But this is the week where you're right, Kyle. You start to really turn that corner and again figure out exactly who you are as a football team, who you want to become. Like what additional plays you want to add on that you've been working on in practice.
Now you're getting those divisional opponents that you see every year, so you expect to kind of maybe throw out a few different wrinkles and make things a little different. I would do want to acknowledge a moment on the field we just had, too, with number 5 for Independence, Rocco Wrestler coming over and actually just coming to check on Devin Diedzik. He was on the play as well, and 2 of the leaders of this team. So obviously sportsmanship, you're going to find that in waves and droves with both of these squads, both teams so well coached and so well conditioned as well.
And think about, too, as, yes, this is a rivalry game, of course, but a lot of friends and family attend both districts. There's a lot of people who know everyone here knows each other.
They do.
And, so that's why this is very, we hope everything's going to be good. It's unfortunate, but that's the community part of the sport. The community part all coming together.
A standing ovation as Devin Diedzik gets carted off the field, and I think he maybe put a thumb up at one point as well, so that's good to see. And
I believe so, yep.
So we will try to resume football activities here, and of course, like we said, our prayers to the Diedzik family, and obviously Devin here is hoping for the best when it comes to news on him throughout the coming week and through the weekend. And this will be, as play resumes, 4th down and 14, so the punt unit will come out for Cuyahoga Heights.
Well, remember, there was a penalty with Cuyahoga Heights that brought them, they got the first down, had the false start, and they were working behind the sticks.
So This is affecting Cuyahoga Heights immediately, AA, because Devin Dietzick is the punter. So now Nathan Tomer is out on the field. He'll have to punt this football away. He will. The lefty boots it away. It's going to be fair caught at around the 42-yard line. Solid catch right there. Falling down was Wrestler, and that's where Independence will begin on their first drive. Solid field position for the Blue Devils and their first offensive possession.
You know, the old sports broadcast back in the day used to measure punt hang time. You used to see, like, the drop down with the with the
I was,
hang
like,
time.
driving up to the stadium, and I saw the punts, like, going so high and just staying there for a few seconds. And I was like, wow.
I think there were drivers off of Interstate 77 who saw the the ball in the air. It was like, wait a minute.
All right, so our first chance to see Dom Narduzzi and company as the Independence offense hits the field. 1st and 10 on their own 40. That's where the ball will be marked down. He'll be handed to Durden. He'll work right side, try to spin through, still on his feet, and eventually gets brought down. Huge tackle on the short side there by, you guessed it, Zach Unger, who is the homecoming king. He was announced before the game.
Homecoming king got his hit in. Got a perfectly formed tackle. That was a nice run, though, like to really get things going a little bit for Independence. You want to be aggressive, push up field, everything downhill if you're Independence.
They have Durden with that first carry, gain of about 4. So it's 2nd and 6 as Independence already finds himself near midfield on their first offensive possession. Durden goes in motion, will take the pitch to the outside, cuts back in, still on his feet. Durden turns upfield. And he got hit out of bounds right near the first down marker. We'll see the position where the referee is. I believe that's going to be enough, AA. So 7 yards and a first down for the Blue Devils.
So I thought Sears, number 18 today, he actually has 3 numbers listed, but he's number 18. I thought he flinched just a little bit, but he was actually checking with the official, the side judge, to make sure he was lined up correctly. But great blocking on that side. And a first down for the Blue Devils.
Glad I wrote down 18 because I was taking a shot in the dark there. Luckily, Coach confirmed that before the game. Here we go, 1st and 10. Throw left side. It is high and incomplete through the hands of the intended receiver. That was Wrestler on the outside. Looks like maybe the rain is let up for the most part here. We had a strong shower for a few moments. But
yeah, right at kickoff. Right at kickoff, the rain was coming down, but it's eased up.
Well, if it is, it's a sprinkle out there now, so there's some conditions to throw the football. 2nd and 10 on the other side of the 50 for the Blue Devils. Quick handoff, spin through Darden, trying to find a hole, and he's going to get brought down at the line. Cuyahoga Heights got back there. Take your pick, a whole host of different tacklers. Again, just off the top, you can see Ben Armbrust back there, number 36. Also, again, number 4, Gavin Chamberlain, who takes a lot of the carries for Cuyahoga Heights, also was in on the stop.
Yeah, that was almost like, I'm here. Just go right in. That's what the battle up front. I'm very intrigued to see the lines up front. Can their offensive line drive these guys? Because the strength of Cuyahoga Heights is their line play.
Really is. 3rd down, looking to pass over the middle. Narduzzi throws, it's caught, and a first down. Solid catch by Wrestler to move the chains. Independence with a big 3rd down conversion.
And a great sharp throw there, really being able to step into the throw, making the play. And Russ, great job, too. That might have been a little bit behind, but he was able to snag it, make the catch. And the Blue Devils, remember our matchup last year, Cuyahoga Heights, I think, had the first 3 touchdowns. So if the Blue Devils can get right down the field, get points on the board, this would be huge.
Yeah, trying to make a statement on offense on this first drive, take advantage of good field position. Handoff, Darden inside. Solid run right there for Mav Durden as he gets... The chains actually will go in the wrong direction there, so that's better.
Well, remember the chain game, that's a huge responsibility. You want to make sure that everything's on point and every play, too.
So Mav Durden gets about 4 to 5 yards there. 2nd and medium on the way for Narduzzi in this offense. In the pistol. High snap, it records it, brings it down. Pass to the outside is caught. Great job by Cuyahoga Heights defense on the outside. There's a penalty that came in late there, AA. It was a good catch by Reinerth, but it's in the area of some sort of possible hold or blocking issue. We'll see what the official call is.
I have never seen the officials gather around the flag before. That was a coincidence, but I've never seen that before.
He's going to be holding on the offense for Independence. So that play is going to move backwards from the spot. Signal holding, but still having a conversation, so we'll see what the amended call, if there is one, will be.
I mean, well, it's got to be. It was already announced.
Yeah, they're going to. Yeah, they're just signifying it again, holding.
So if you have a, never mind. But they confirmed it. I'm not going down that road. Never mind. The officials making sure things are correct.
Yes. It's okay. Sometimes you want to overtalk a little bit, make sure you got everything figured out. So now it's 2nd and 16.
Watch
for the
the
Blue
trips
Devils.
on the top of the screen here.
Look for that screen pass. They're going to find it. It is caught. Cutting through. He's got some room. Big gain and near a first down. Solid catch and run right there for Independence. That was Levi Sears, AA, number 18, who made the catch.
Telegraphing what they wanted to do. Get those extra blockers out there from the receiving core. Got the trips. And Sears, we've seen a couple plays here where he gets in open space. They got something going.
Solid start for Narduzzi and company. Now 3rd and short after that 2nd and long following the penalty. Narduzzi going to keep it. Rolling to the right. Going to cut back inside. Trying to get the first down. And he should be right at the line. I think that should be enough. They're going to move the chains. And yet, AA, that is going to be a first down for Independence.
Well, remember, Narduzzi, a year ago, he had injury issues coming into this game when we had it in Independence. This year, completely healthy, ready to go. You can already see his progress moving this offense. We saw hints of it last year. We're seeing the full potential on this drive.
1st and 10 as the Blue Devils continue to drive down the field on their first possession. Durden handoff inside, gets spun and eventually still on his feet, but brought down after a gain of about 1. Solid job on the inside. Couple of different tacklers, including Luke Cretan on the tackle.
Great defense there for the Red Wolves. Was this work for the Blue Devils? Obviously, it's their air attack, but of course, you want to also keep things a little bit balanced too. So, one of those breather plays that we talked about, and now once again, trips to the left side of your TV screen.
Clock continues to tick down. 5.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Independence controlling the possession, rolling to his left. Narduzzi looking, throwing, looking to the outside. They're going to say it was incomplete on the outside to Wrestler, who tried to toe tap and catch that ball, but just a bit too far outside. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
And again, there is still a little bit of rain, on the field there, but that would have been a tough play to make regardless. But you see the strategy here. The Independence, they want to utilize the perimeter, utilize kind of their threat, and they want to get the touchdown in this drive. We might have somebody who jumped here.
This could be possible encroachment, maybe. We'll see. And it will be. So that's going to be 5 yards against Cuyahoga Heights. So a 3rd and long turned into a 3rd and medium.
Yeah, the defensive end jumped early a little bit. And that's what, Coach was talking about, Coach Martin again. You don't need extra emotion for this game. You just got to zero in and focus. But, man, all your friends, all your family, classmates, everyone's here, And you want to make that big play.
Narduzzi getting the play call again. Trips to the top of your screen, too wide to the bottom. Narduzzi looking to pass, looking, going to throw right side, looking to the end zone, incomplete over the head of the intended receiver. That was number 12, Ryan Suey. So now a 4th down and 4.
Now, Independence, they do have a kicker on their roster, but I would imagine they're going to go for it here.
I think it's that time, AA. They haven't scored in 3 weeks here. The past 3 games. They're going to want to try and get these points, and they want a touchdown. They don't want to worry about 3. So, again, same formation.
You watch the hard count if you're Cuyahoga Heights.
Narduzzi looking to pass again, looking middle, throws, and it's intercepted. It was. With his replay AA over the middle throw. Great job on the inside and an interception.
It was in traffic, too, so that's tough. That's tough there, but Armburst came up with that interception.
Man, what a play. Over the middle, and I'll tell you what, I mean, going forward no matter what here, so you're living with the result, and obviously Cuyahoga Heights is pinned back deep, but not the way you want to end that drive for the Blue Devils.
No, and it was going to end on a turnover on downs, but you had great momentum going right down the field. Great stop by Cuyahoga Heights defensively, bending, but not breaking.
So now the Red Bulls bringing the ball back now as a handoff on the inside, and maybe a couple on the play. Yeah, that was Chamberlain who got maybe 2 on the play double A.
And this is the other reason why Independence not converting is huge here, because the Red Wolves, they have more guys who they can sub in.
Now, they are missing one important one double A. Devin Diedzik not in the game. Obviously, I'm assuming most likely going to be out for the game with that injury. So that's one key component of this offense that they're missing is. And it's a run to the right side, and great job by Independence's defense, just snuffing out the runs here early on in the ball game. Nowhere to go for Schaefer and company. That time he tried to do it himself, and he got nowhere.
We'll see what the penalty is, but I think Sears, number 18, again, was one of the big guys who made the tackle. Unless they pick up the
they're going to call a face mask on Independence. Yeah, how about that? So that's a big deal.
That's huge because it's felt like we haven't seen the Red Wolves on offense that much, but it's felt like they've been playing from behind the sticks. That's a huge penalty.
That's 15 yards in the direction for the Red Wolves now as they move the ball near the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Again, it's a keeper for Schaefer up the middle. He gets spun down after a solid gain of about 6. So sophomore quarterback here, Zach Schaefer, number 2 in his second year in high school and taking control of this offense. Coach Martin had some good things to say about him in pregame, and he's flexing those muscles at 6'2", 210 already.
And why not? Why not? If you have it, show out. Definitely show out. But we're noticing here, even out of this formation, a little bit more than our game last year, where they are using more, option plays on the outside and whatnot. So see if you're going to see another dive here on 2nd and 4.
And Schaefer under center. Turns, going to keep it himself again. Schaefer puts his head down, gets spun down, eventually at the 43-yard line. And that should be enough for a 1st down.
Oh, it will be. And just think of, he was like the 2nd or 3rd option, there. And what do you do if you're the Blue Devils? Obviously, you attack the first guy, but you got to have somebody ready to go to attack the second guy. Well, what if the quarterback's the 3rd guy? What if he's the 4th guy?
Well, some would say he's the 1st guy because he's had the ball the entire time, but I don't want to.
But I was just saying as far as options, right?
Yeah.
That's what, like if he would have
that's every play, double A. Yeah, I mean, that's every play. You've got probably 4 or 5 guys that could run the football for this Cuyahoga Heights team. That's just the way the offense has just worked over the past number of years. As Schaefer's looking to pass, he's going to throw a ball. Hit as he throws. It's a jump ball, and it's incomplete. They're going to call a flag in late.
Oh, boy.
On Stefan Molnarchik, who thought he just knocked the ball out. It was hand fighting between both players there as it was a jump ball thrown up. And I'll tell you what, Unger went out for the reception, and I don't know here. They're going to call pass interference on Independence double A.
I thought he played the ball, but there were multiple officials who made that call. That was a unified call.
Yeah, so that's a huge penalty. And, again, not a spot foul. It's a penalty from the line of scrimmage, but it is going to be a 1st down.
Can you imagine if it was a spot foul?
It's going down inside the 30 at that point, yeah, but this time it's going to stay at the 42-yard line, and that's where Heights will take over now. Schaefer, the man in motion, going to turn. He's going to keep it again himself. Schaefer going upfield, finding an option that's working for him as Schaefer gets near a 1st down again, a solid run.
But he is staying in the backfield before he takes off because he's keeping the football. So even, you don't get the first handoff. Another guy is rushing up the pocket, so you got to contend for him. You don't even realize he has the football until it's too late, until you already attacked your assignments.
No, trusting the vision, that's something that the sophomore quarterback's been getting better and better at throughout his 2nd season. You're starting at quarterback for this Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves team, trying to get above 500. Second and short. It'll be again Schaefer keeping the ball. He's going to get upfield and get the first down. Past the 30 down to the 28-yard line.
And this is where your linebackers, I think you're going to get an Independence timeout because you need to tell your linebackers somebody needs to stay on the quarterback no matter what. Stay on the QB because he's having a field day in this drive.
I'll tell you what, if you're dealing with sewer or drain emergencies, do yourself a favor. Do not wait. Call Sewer Cleaning Company. Their number, 440-290-6055 for 24/7 service. With over 500 five-star reviews, they provide expert sewer and drain cleaning, camera inspection, storm drain repair, and more. You can trust their honest and transparent services to get your home back in order. Visit sewercleaningcompany.com to learn more and to get more details and to schedule your appointment today. At sewercleaningcompany.com, your local sewer and drain experts. First-team customers receive a free video drain inspection. Well, we were interested to see how the transition away from having not to be able to use Devin Dietzick, one of the offensive weapons, would correlate on the field, and a couple penalties moving the Red Wolves down the field AA, but taking some more chances, some new players getting some opportunities. Obviously, Zach Unger, more known for his defense, but getting an opportunity on offense and drew the pass interference play.
Well,
on the other end, he's done great.
I love that play call, too. I love, hey, and this is what they do. This is the Al Martin offense. Dive, option, keeper. And then, we have a man-to-man opportunity on the outside. So the DB, you can't be sleeping. It's so tough.
And with that, the Red Wolves had the ball inside the 30-yard line of Independence here. First and 10. Mentioned the Blue Devils only dressing about 21 players tonight, so those timeouts going to be very important. Schaefer going to hand to Chamberlain, who eventually gets spun down. Gain of maybe 3 or 4 in the play for Chamberlain.
So a little bit of a difference there, but again, as long as you get positive yards, this offense is so dangerous when they play ahead of the sticks.
And again, it's just the vision and the patience of their quarterback here, Zach Schaefer, number 2, to be able to take his time. Reed, there's a handoff on the left side, cutting back through his Chamberlain. He cuts back down to the 30. Maybe the 20 rather. Down to the 19. They're going to say get enough for the first down AA. Wow, extra little extension of the ball and moves the chains.
Well, that cutback that he had, Chamberlain, was really, really impressive. Able to read that second level and get that going. Great job by him. Great awareness.
And that does lead to a Red Bulls first down now, officially at the 18-yard line. Driving down the field with under a minute 30 to go in this first quarter. Still scoreless ball game. Schaefer again going to keep it himself. Cut back through, tries to find a hole, splits through, and eventually gets pushed back, but not before he gets a gain of about 4 to 5.
So a little bit better of identifying the quarterback keeper. However, then he drove a little bit after contact. So that's the next step.
Some of the size, too, of Schaefer as a sophomore, 6'2", 210. That's a pretty good size for most quarterbacks in general, period. And he's obviously still got a couple years to grow even more.
He looks huge from our view here in the booth.
Yeah, he's down on the field, obviously. You can see the size. You can see the ability. And now, like we said, learning more as he keeps going through this offensive playbook. More snaps, more reps. Schaefer going to throw to the outside. He's got a receiver. That's caught. Still going and reaching, but going out at the 1-yard line. Almost made the play. Gain of 14. They needed 15. It's a great catch on the outside there, which we weren't sure how much passing we were going to see, but Nick Armbrust made the great catch out there and bringing up a 1st and goal.
And he could be subbed out, of course, just to get a little bit of rest, but that outside, how do you defend that? It's tough, and now they're 1 yard away.
Turn, handoff, Chamberlain inside, and he scores. Touchdown for Gavin Chamberlain, and as time was nearly out in the first quarter, Cuyahoga Heights gets on the board. First they lead 6-0.
So after the interception to start a new drive, Cuyahoga Heights going right down the field, using their physicality on all fronts. And they get the score, get the touchdown.
So Bryce Rush will come on to attempt the extra point. And man, we've seen these Fun formations.
Now, the normal formation is for the lineman to collapse down to the middle like this.
Yes. I think they're going to call an offsides on Independence there.
Because we've seen teams in the past this season run a fake. I believe it happened last week. I mean, last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Hey, you see a little bit of everything in high school football.
That is amazing. We used to practice that extra point formation all the time.
Also, Schaefer is heading back onto the field AA. They're going to go for 2 now that the ball got moved half the distance closer. So they really only need 1 yard. And for an Al Martin offense, you expect to get a yard at least on every rush.
And who's going to keep the ball? Who's going to get the ball?
That's the question we're going to find out now. Is it's going to be Chamberlain who gets it. The Kyle gets pushed.
The legs never stop moving, Kyle.
And they got it, yep. Chamberlain found a way to dive through and gets the 2-point conversion. So the score balloons to 8-0. 23 seconds to go here in this first quarter here on CVC TV. Hey, transform your property with a fence from R&T Fence Company. Family owned for over 36 years. They provided top-notch fence installation services across all of Northeast Ohio. Specializing in residential, commercial, and industrial fencing, they offer a wide range of options, including aluminum, vinyl, wood, and even chain link. Call 330-626-5170 for a free estimate, or visit rtfence.com. Whether you need a new fence or a custom gate, trust the experts at R&T Fence Company to deliver quality and professionalism. That's rtfence.com, your fencing solution. We'll put up a fence to run through at that point. Independence did a good job, but Gavin Chamberlain kept those legs turning AA, got in for the 2 points. He added the touchdown the previous play, and that's why we got this 8-0 score here early on.
No, you need extra security to get through that fence. Get through that. I mean, an impressive drive. This is, Coach Martin wanted more physicality from his offense. Who's looking for it. He felt like, hasn't gotten the physicality that he wants to this point of the season. That first drive says, hey, let's turn it around, and they've done that to this point.
They really have. As Wrestler Hamill and Archick are back to return the kick. That ball kicked in the direction of Wrestler.
We get a real kickoff this week.
And he'll take it. Turning upfield. Wrestler's got room, spins through. He breaks through. Wrestler gets down past the 40 and brought down at the 46-yard line. What a return right there by Independence. So a good starting field position. This time can the Blue Devils come through? They put together a solid drive last time AA, but just could not finish at the end. They went forward on 4th and 4 and threw an interception to turn the ball over on downs.
I think that'll be the last time we see a kick returner on CVC TV this season.
No dynamic kickoffs, but yeah, we've seen a lot of different pooch kicks, different types of onside kicks we saw, especially last week. They're going to mark him down, by the way, at the 44.5-yard line. So
look, the aerial attack was working for Independence. It's just, made a bad read for that interception on the 4th down.
Definitely no shortage of confidence as the handoff goes to Durden up the middle. He's going to try and find the hole and does get a few, about 3 yards on the carry.
A good safe run play to close out the quarter. I think next quarter, next play, you're going to see the Blue Devils air it out.
That ends the first quarter. The score 8-0. Cuyahoga Heights leading Independence here on CVC TV. Your game of the week. Homecoming night for the Red Wolves. And they have an 8-point lead. Here at ChagrinValleyConference.com. Also want to remind you, our presenting sponsor for CVC TV. It's the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. You know them, Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties, well, they include everything from dental surgery and implants to corrective jaw and facial surgery and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website. That's www.ohsurgery.com. And hey, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and us here at CVC TV. LAA, only a couple possessions in that first quarter. Teams hold on to the ball for a long period of time. Cuyahoga Heights finds a way to score. Independence trying to figure things out on their second possession.
Well, I think you said the key word, only a couple possessions. And when you're facing Cuyahoga Heights, that's all you're going to get.
You need to make them count,
you've got to make them count. You've got to. Because even to this point, you mentioned they got not only the touchdown, but the 2-point conversion. So imagine limited possessions. If this becomes a 16-0 ball game, and you don't want that if you're the Blue Devils. You got to drive down the field here.
Chance for Dominic Narduzzi and company. 2nd and 7 as they approach midfield again. Narduzzi back to pass. Feeling the rush throw is right side. It's high. And did Wrestler bring that down? He did. What a catch near the sideline at the bottom of your screen. Rocco Wrestler, that's the most impressive 5-yard gain you're going to see all week.
Snagged all hands. Highest point to the football. Making things happen. The senior receiver. What a play.
Solid catch for Wrestler. Brings up 3rd down and short. And your pass midfield for Independence. You imagine again probably maybe 4-down territory at this point.
Oh, yes. The 100%.
Trusting that offense as Narduzzi takes snap. He's going to hand off. Dirt and breaks right side. He's got a hole. Trying to get through it. Great defense on the outside by Cuyahoga Heights. And great tackle out there on the right side.
And think about how important that open field tackle was.
Oh, my goodness.
I
Durden
mean,
had some room to run there, but
there
a great
was
tackle.
a-
Yeah,
there
Curtis
was-
Van Devner caught that. Been great on the outside, closed it. And now here we go. 4th down and short. We talked about it. This is 4-down territory for Independence.
Snaps are a little bit high, though. That's a little bit concerning.
And that one, you just talked about a double A. You're like a genie as Narduzzi has to fall on it, and that's a tough turnover on down. It's going to put the Red Wolves down at the 36-yard line of Independence. You almost did the announcer jinx there. You made that ball go left, didn't you?
Well, the problem was the snaps were high, a couple of these plays.
So this time the snap was lower, but it was just way to the left. And
So 2 straight 4th downs where it felt like the Blue Devils had great momentum. They made great plays. Not able to get out of their own way.
yeah, 4th and medium to relatively short, too. A 4th and 4 the drive before. This time a 4th and 3.
2 turnovers, and it wasn't from turnover on downs. Interception, and then this go around the fumble.
Yeah, so now this is going to put the Red Wolves in key position to try and make this a 2-score game as Schaefer's back under center. Turn, it's a great job there as this time Schaefer held on to the football, and it was not a good idea. Solid tackle on the inside by a big number 59. That's Ronan Shetter.
And he did a great job locking in on the quarterback. That's all you got to do. You got to designate somebody. Like, depending on where they're at in the field, you got to designate somebody. You are on the quarterback only, basically. It's QB only. And a great job there. Great adjustment.
Schaefer's been seeing things double A in this first half. He's been seeing some, if I just hold on to the ball a little bit, maybe I can get a read here. And this time he's going to be in the shotgun.
He is a big guy.
And receivers spread out, looking to throw. It's a quick pass. Outside it is caught. A stumble near the sideline, but eventually goes out of bounds. Great catch on the outside there. Again, from Cuyahoga Heights. And it is a 1st down. Great throw, great catch on the outside.
Yeah. Arm burst there. And watching this quarterback operate, like the size, when he throws the football, reminds me a little bit, his style. Reminds me a little bit of Matthew Stafford.
Oh, boy.
Big style. Bigger guy, getting that ball out like there's muscle with it.
Leave it to double A to throw an NFL reference into a high school game.
I just said style.
Love to see it. 1st down, delayed handoff through the middle, and a great job by Independence to snuff that one out. Maybe a yard, if that, on the play.
I mean, I'm not going to mention that the next player looks like Michael Irving out there.
You'll get more side looks here in the booth if you do that.
I know. Back when real football teams ran the ball. But hey,
Double A's officially done it. He's found a way to date himself here, which is
amazing.
fantastic. As the ball's on the 29-yard line here, 2nd down and 10. Just over 9.5 to go in this first half. Cuyahoga Heights with the lead, trying to extend it. Schaefer again in the shotgun, looking to pass, looking. He's going to take off and run. Schaefer puts his head down, tries to find a lane, and he's going to get brought down immediately. Solid job by Independence to read that.
Solid job by the DBs.
Yeah, that was Sears, too, that came in and made the stop right with him from the beginning there, Double A. And, yeah, there was just nowhere to go.
Basically all man and the DBs able to handle business. Nowhere to throw the football to.
All right, it's going to be 3rd down and long here. A chance for the Blue Devils to try and get a big stop and force a decision from Coach Al Martin and company on that sideline. It looks like Schaefer's going to come on that shotgun again, Double A. Third down and long. Schaefer looking, throwing over the top. It's intercepted by Independence. And he has got room to run. It's Wrestler. This is not the guy you want with the ball in his hands. Wrestler goes to the right side. Big block. And he is going to go all the way.
Wow.
73 yards. Interception return for a touchdown. Rocco Wrestler.
These DBs have had a game so far. Again, locking that. Oh, it might have been a little bit of a stare down.
And just a miscommunication on the throw, a little bit high double leg, and he had the receiver there, just overthrew it.
Watch the block here. Watch the block.
Oh.
And there you go, the touchdown. That was Sears who got that block on the quarterback. And Independence, I think they're going to just go for the extra point. It'll make it a 1-point game if they get it. But way to turn the tide in this rivalry game.
What an unbelievable interception return for a touchdown. Snap good, extra point up, it's on its way, and it is good. So with that, the score now 8-7. Independence gets on the board here on CVC TV off a huge interception return for a touchdown by Rocco Wrestler. Well, stay comfortable year-round with air quality control and heating and cooling. Serving Northeast Ohio for over 35 years, they specialize in residential HVAC installation, repair, and maintenance. From air conditioning to heating, they handle it all. Need emergency service? Call them 24/7 at 216-531-5202 and ask for Joe, or visit airqualitycontrolhvac.com for more information and to schedule your appointment. Trust the experts at Air Quality Control for reliable, top-quality HVAC solutions. That's airqualitycontrolhvac.com. Your comfort is their priority.
Well, this is not a repeat of last year's game. that at all. We have seen on both sides, both teams pay for critical turnovers. Independence getting on the board off of a pick six. The play before, the DB's locked in. And then that go around, getting the interception. Great job there. See if Cuyahoga Heights goes back on the ground. But even Independence is starting to figure that out a little bit.
Yeah, again, great job by Wrestler. Just the pass just over the head of the intended receiver there, maybe with a miscommunication, and now obviously we've got a 1-point ball game with 8:37 to go in this first half. Kickoff is marking it down. It's going to be taken in by Cuyahoga Heights. It's Van Divner who's trying to turn up field and still pushing through using that big body and gets down to about the 39-yard line. So here we go, a chance for the Red Wolves to try and respond. The good news about a pick six is he can go right back out there and obviously short-term memory and just try to figure things out again.
That's the best part. That's the best part. It wasn't, go right back out there, but definite confidence with the DBs. Now up front, though, still, maybe you go back to the bread and butter, running right up the gut.
Yeah, Schaefer back under center here. 1st and 10, just inside their own 40. Schaefer going to keep it, and a great job by Independence. Got right back to him. They're going to push him backwards. Great tackle on the inside. Yeah, Wrestler was coming in late there, too, to push that pile back. They're going to give Schaefer maybe an inch or two on that.
Number 59 is figuring this thing out defensively. He is really, really identifying.
The Shedder's been in there all night so far.
He is identifying, locked it on the quarterback, no hesitation. He's getting to these last couple of possessions.
And a chance for Independence. They have the momentum right now. 2nd and long here coming up for the Red Wolves. Schaefer again under center. Turn, fake the handoff. Will hand it off to Van Divner, who tries to cut back inside. And again, solid tackle through, but still a gain. About 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, they're still getting yards after contact. So, look, if the Red Wolves are able to go downhill, you're going to get, even with contact, you'll get an extra 2 to 4 yards. So they're doing a good job on that front. This is when you go side to side, Independence is meeting you there. You're not getting any yards.
The last time a 3rd down conversion attempt happened, Independence returned it over 70 yards for a touchdown. Another 3rd down attempt here for the Red Wolves. 3rd and 5 on their own 44-yard line. And again in the shotgun is Schaefer. He's going to look to pass. Schaefer looking, throwing middle. This one's high. It's through the arms. It's intercepted again. It's intercepted again by Independence. And out of bounds. And there it is, a flag. It could be another 15 yards coming in late. One interception, some more talking on the sideline. What a read right there by Liam Reinert, who got the interception. And for the second consecutive third down on the offensive end, Cuyahoga Heights throws an interception.
And this time it was off the hands of a receiver. So even in this go-around, you might have had something in there, a little bit of a slippery, a little bit. It hasn't rained in a little while, but, a hot hand, ball goes off, defender's right there for another interception. Turnovers controlling the narrative of this football game.
If you're going to throw short, you need to control that football because there's probably going to be 3 or 4 defenders in the area for short passes. It's not one-on-one coverage in that situation, and that's tough to ask.
Now, of course, the officials are discussing whether there was a late hit on the sideline.
A couple flags flew out there, Double-A, at the end of that play.
And it's a huge deal if they say that it is. It's going to be, I would imagine, an additional 15 yards if it is.
It's got to be careful now as the Independence fans starting to get excited here. We'll see the official call from the head official in the white hat. And a personal foul against Cuyahoga Heights. We'll see what the second flag was for. Against Independence. So they're going to offset, I believe. But the interception will stand up away. The ball will be placed down at the 37-yard line of Cuyahoga Heights. So huge news right there for the Blue Devils. Now can the offense find some rhythm and get down the field and capitalize on the defense making back-to-back huge plays?
Very, very true. Also, we're happy to report that the Cuyahoga Heights coaching staff is still standing, after that hit, the hit on the sideline.
They got ran into there.
Big opportunity. Got to watch up top here if the Blue Devils decide to go all out on first down.
Narduzzi going to fake. He's going to throw a deep ball. Left side, he's got Wrestler looking in zone, and it's bobbled and incomplete. He had the ball in his hands and couldn't come down with it. Made the big play on defense a few turns ago, and this time Wrestler almost made a big play on offense, but just out of his reach. Second down coming up.
Man. Everyone's on the Independence side like, man, wish you get that play back. You had the perfect look.
Yeah, good.
Great pump fake, too. Great pump fake as well, like to really get that thing out. Great play call, but them are the breaks.
That's a tough ask to try and make that play, and it's going to be second down and 10. Again, you take those shots. You had all the momentum right now is on the sideline with the, again, guys with the white jerseys on tonight. Taking some time to get this play call in, though. Got to be careful for a delay a game. We've seen a couple of those calls already this year, Double-A.
We have, yes.
Narduzzi gets it in, and it's going to get to the...
I believe there's 10 seconds left in the play clock if the back judge is correct.
And it's going to lead to a timeout taken by Independence. Don't want to chance it here, as they will, with 6:45 to go in this first half. And momentum, but Cuyahoga Heights still with the lead, 8-7 here on CVC TV. Hey, Greeny Sports Cards is live every Tuesday night at 7 on their social media pages with exclusive hobby talk and interviews. Tune in and interact with them during the show. You can search Greeny Sports Cards, that's GREENIE, on all their social media channels, or find the links on their website, greenysportscards.com. That's greenysportscards.com.
Well,
it's amazing how the second quarter can just change the entire altitude of the game here, Double-A, is, again, the Independence has been playing on another level on defense here in this frame, and now the offense trying to follow suit. Almost made a huge play there on first down, but that's the beauty of first down. You still have a few more to go.
Well, remember, it was the Independence defense that put the points on the board. Can the Blue Devils prove that they could drive down the field and finish and score against this defense? And, yes, they had the open look. It didn't work out, so a new opportunity here. Curious what the play call is going to be on the Blue Devils side of things.
Had to feel good, Double-A, too. First points on the board since week 2 of the high school football season for Independence Blue Devils. They want some more.
You don't realize how long that is. Like, you really don't. Like, it's crazy.
All the momentum again on the Blue Devils side. Second down. This player deep back. It's going to be a screen play out to the right side. Interesting setup, and not much on that play. They threw it to Wrestler. Could have given him a little bit of a running start there on a kind of a pseudo screen type play. So it's going to be third down and long.
Yeah, I was very curious to see how that play was going to develop. Great stop defensively. At some point this season, though, go back to that play, though, because it's uniquely designed.
All right, so we go. Third down and long.
Watch that trips again at the top.
There's an option for a screen. Narduzzi's going to step up. He's going to try and run the football. He breaks through. He's still on his feet, gets spun through, and eventually going to get brought down inside the 35, down to the 32-yard line. So more decisions to be made here by Independence.
Now, again, those yards matter, even though you didn't get the first down. I would, again, imagine where they're at is 4-down territory, but what a stop this would be if Cuyahoga Heights comes away with this drive, not giving up points.
Especially
be
with
a huge stop.
Yeah, what happened there with the interception on the second consecutive possession for the Red Wolves here. Trips now going to be at the bottom of your screen, double A.
Like a bunch situation at the bottom there with the trips, and then the coaching staff, they're still communicating the plays.
I'm trying to get that play in for this offense on 4th down as the clock continues to tick away as we're almost 5 minutes to go in this first half.
Again, you're not going to see that many possessions. Again, 10 seconds on the play clock as the back judge.
Narduzzi walking off the field here. Maybe another timeout coming possibly. And there will be taken as Independence will let that clock run down. And the Blue Devils will take another one here as with 5:05 to go, the score again 8-7. Independence with a big 4th down coming up on Cuyahoga Heights side of the field. Well, if you're looking to sell your home, let Woodlake Realty help you make the move and save big while you're at it. Right now, for a limited time, mention this ad and get your house listed for only 1.5%. It's one of the lowest rates in the market today. That's expert service, full exposure, and more money in your pocket. Don't wait. Call Woodlake Realty today and let them make selling your home a breeze. Remember, just mention this ad for the special 1.5% listing offer. That's Woodlake Realty, where your move matters. Visit www.woodlakere.com for more information.
Hard to believe, but you only need 5 yards here if you're Independence, right? To get the first?
Just about, yeah. It's 4th and 5, and call that medium. The playbook, I'd imagine, is fairly wide open at this point.
But you could tell, obviously, if you couldn't tell already, how important getting the right play call, getting the right positioning is. We have spent a ton of time on this particular play. Independence making sure they have the right play against this defensive look.
Trips again going to the bottom of your screen. The very bottom is Wrestler. He's going to be in one-on-one coverage out there.
And somebody's going to have to stay home defensively because QB's already proven to be a threat.
Narduzzi looking to pass, going to throw middle. It is intercepted. A flag comes in late. It was picked off by Unger. And the flag came down. We'll see what the official rule is. It looks like it could be.
I think it's going to be declined.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be against Independence.
Yeah, so that's going to be another interception, double A. That's the 4th pick of this first half. These defenses stepping up big time.
And the penalty was an ineligible man. But you're right. We haven't had a, quote-unquote stop. You've had on both sides interceptions and fumbles on the 4th down. So these possessions are precious. But just think again. Wrestler had the look on 1st down. That would have got them down to like the 5-yard line.
I mean, he dove down, double A. That was practically almost at the goal line where he would have caught that ball, laid out, and almost made the play. And again, now with the lead, still up 1 with under 5 minutes to go in this first half. The Red Wolves, we know Coach Al Martin, he keeps them calm, cool, and collected in these situations. But back-to-back possessions have ended with an interception. We'll see if they decide to stay on the ground this time. Schaefer. Turns hands left side. Flag comes in late. And
this should be a false start.
I think there was on the far side. They've been putting players in motion behind the play, and sometimes if you go a little bit too shallow, it looks like you're kind of diving in early. And
well, you can't just hesitate either, right? And that's
gotta go, yeah. And that's what it is, double A. It's an illegal shift behind the line of scrimmage, so they're gonna move him back. And penalties have been a big factor here. Remember on the scoring drive for Cuyahoga Heights, 2 huge penalties against the Independence defense put them in that position to get down and score.
It's so tough to operate when you're playing behind the sticks, especially with this type of offense.
1st and 15. Schaefer looking to pass, throws outside. That one's high. It's caught. Huge hit out there. Tell you what, Unger brought it in, but he paid for it. Solid tackle on the outside by Reinert. He had the other interception.
And a clean hit, too, on the outside. A little bit too much air on that throw.
Yeah, he'll take it. It's a completion.
But, yeah, I mean, you get the yards.
Positive yards, get some positive momentum. Yeah, for your quarterback, too, who's had a rough go of it.
A little bit of pain, though.
Well, sometimes you got to pay for it. Another man in motion. It's going to be going to hand off through, and that's going to be a first down. Solid run by Chamberlain, diving through the right side of the offensive line, and he'll move the chains.
It felt like it's been a while since we've seen that. Like, this is the identity of this offense. Like, this is their identity, but it's been a while since we have seen that. Good to see it from the Red Wolves.
And fantastic job by the Red Bulls running the ball. There's Chamberlain again. Solid hit, though, in the middle. Chamberlain got about 5 yards, and it could have been a lot more, but I'll tell you what. Yeah, Narduzzi came in the quarterback and actually knocked him down. Plays linebacker, too, and that stopped that play from being more than 5 yards.
That's a little bit tough there, definitely, but did a great job there. Wonder the condition of Carter Howard, who had to trot off the field. A little bit of a limp, but hopefully get the ice down, be ready to go.
It's like cramping so far this year, too, Double A, in some of these games when you have smaller rosters. As Chamberlain breaks through the middle, he's got a first down and more. Push past the 50 down to the 46-yard line. Huge run for Chamberlain.
And a huge burst of speed, too, that we have not seen from this offense in a little bit. Again, just slipping right through, and out of nowhere, when you realize he has the ball, 13 yards later, first down.
Well, could Chamberlain be one of our players at the game? Make sure you promote. We're going to talk about it again, visiting ChagrinValleyConference.com for our players of the week. Is going to run up the middle for Chamberlain. This time gets a short gain, about 2 to 3 yards. And we've been spoiled a little bit the past couple weeks, Double A, to have a couple different players step up and have huge games.
Well, yeah, of course. And the cool thing, too, you might get interviewed as well. Aiden Duncan, we saw him last week here at Trinity. Had a great interview, great plays last week. Check out the website, of course.
It's been the Chamberlain show in this drive as he pushes forward. It gets near the first down again. Gavin Chamberlain getting a heavy workload this drive, and he moves the chains. So another 8 yards for Chamberlain. What has been a fantastic first half.
Again, this is more of what we expect when we watch Cuyahoga Heights football. Diving, running the dive. Now, at some point, they're going to surprise you again and perhaps try to go back up top. Maybe in this formation here out of
Schaefer
shotgun.
Again in the shotgun. Going to take another shot possibly. Let's see. Looking left side, throws. It's a quick slant. It's caught. Unger brought it in and gets tackled near the first down. I'll tell you what, Double A, he's right at that line. They're going to say maybe he's about a half a yard, maybe a yard short.
Well, the defense provided that cushion, so you take full advantage with the slant underneath. Kind of surprise things here. Maybe they will go back up top again.
So again, Schaefer in the shotgun. Looking to pass, left side, throws, quick out. That one is brought in, solid tackle on the outside there. But that is enough to move the chains. And just a short completion, just trying to keep the sticks moving. And talk about the quarterback he's got. Schaefer has the ability to throw that football. Just a couple of just unfortunate circumstances there leading to those turnovers.
Yeah, great catch there by Armburst.
It's been those two as that ball's over the middle again. And oh my goodness, was it intercepted?
It was.
Wrestler got it again.
And here it is. Here's how, hold up, pump fake.
Oh,
but
my
he
goodness.
read the quarterback. Read it. And another interception.
You got to wonder, you've got the drive moving with Chamberlain, who ran for 3 first downs by himself on that drive. Throwing it for the third consecutive play, and that time for the third consecutive drive, it ends in an interception for Cuyahoga Heights.
And it's all over the middle. It's all the traffic is there. And they have progress, like you said, with Chamberlain. It's just for whatever reason. Look, these DBs are having themselves a game.
They really are. I tell you what, Wrestler's had a fantastic night. He returned one for a touchdown, gets his second interception right there, and now Narduzzi and company take over. Deep that ball tip, but eventually caught And solid defense on the outside by Heights. Nowhere to go. They threw it out there to Reinhardt, and he just had nowhere to go double A.
No, he didn't. And what was amazing, too, it was after a tip. It was still, but, defensively, you're there. And again, if you're the Red Wolves, you're just trying to survive the clock here and not give up any points before halftime.
Yeah, just 40 seconds or so. That ball thrown over the middle, and it's almost intercepted. We almost saw our 6th interception of this first half. Oh, it tipped through there. That was Ben Armbrust who knocked that ball down, and that was sweaty palm time over on the Independence sideline.
And the brothers having an impact in this game. Nick Armbrust, the senior, and then Ben, the sophomore, number 36, almost with an interception. He almost could have scored on his own.
So now 3rd down here for Independence, and you got to be careful. You do not want to give the ball back to Heights in this position. So deep in your own territory, they're obviously down inside their own 20, and timeout going to be called, I believe, by Coach Martin and company. It will be.
And it's only their first time out.
So smart about taking those, yeah.
So you think about the clock here in this situation. You're right here. If you air it out and it's an incomplete pass, gets it down to about 33 seconds, you punt. You got half the field with about 25 seconds if you're Cuyahoga Heights.
I mean, just an eventful first half, AA. We've seen 6 turnovers. The defense is coming out to play, and the score obviously indicative of that, 8-7 with Heights still holding on to that 1-point lead. Independence obviously returned one of those interceptions for a touchdown. A big night for Rocco Ressler and company. On the other side, Cuyahoga Heights, they've been able to drive and get momentum on offense, find some answers, but then again, it's been the passing that's kind of doomed them a little bit with 3 interceptions in this first half.
I'm amazed by the turnovers, just the impact that both of these defenses have made, and a couple of plays that have been left on the field. A couple of connections that could have led to big scores that just did not connect.
Another 3rd down attempt here for the Blue Devils. Again, just 38 seconds to go in this first half. And it will be a fake pitch to a handoff on the inside.
You're going to get the first? Oh, man.
Yeah, they're going to get close. That was 3rd, and he got the carry double A on the fake pitch handoff. And I believe, is Heights going to call another timeout?
They did.
Will.
They did.
Yeah, so 31 seconds. 4th down. I imagine a punt's coming from Independence. Heights wants a chance to try and get on the board one more time.
And perhaps that play call makes sense. Offensively, eat up the clock, take away another timeout, as opposed to them having 2 timeouts. You're going to only have 1, and you're going to take this down to.
And you have thrown 3 straight interceptions on possession, so if you're going to try and make a big play, the odds are obviously in Independence's favor here.
You punt the ball, you're going to take it inside 25 seconds. So, you're right, limiting the opportunities. We have seen, though, in CVC play, even if you have a very limited amount of time, if you have good field position, you can still.
We saw 2 touchdowns inside 17 seconds at one point a couple weeks ago, AA. So we've seen it all at this point.
Last week at Lutheran West, we were there.
Yeah, Unger going to go back again. Devin Deeds got hurt in that first quarter. He's normally the kick and punt returner, but this time it's going to be Unger back. So the homecoming king with a few more responsibilities than normal tonight as he's going to receive this punt. And it's high, it is arcing, it's over his head. He's going to fair catch that one. It's going to go out of bounds. Solid punts. I think they're going to mark that down right at the 35-yard line. So 24.8. You were close. You said 25 seconds, AA. Don't worry, I'll penalize you for it later.
You don't even let me round. Man.
So close. So close.
Next week, I'll say 23.7 seconds.
You may hit it. You never know.
Save the tape.
Yeah. Put that in the highlight reel as and Heights with an opportunity here with 1 timeout.
Wonder, are they in formations just to
maybe throw one of those tricky runs in? And nope, they're going to take a knee. All right, so they'll take a knee, and yeah, they're just going to live to fight for the 3rd quarter. The score at halftime is 8-7 AA, and the Red Wolves holding on to that 1-point lead in what was a show of 2 defenses that were playing the ball and making huge plays throughout that first half.
Yeah, this has been a phenomenal defensive showcase. You wonder what the adjustments will be from both coaching staffs in this halftime break. but a rivalry game that this year is living up to the hype. And my goodness, we're in for something going into the second half. A little bit of rain, but they call it a rivalry game for a reason.
They do. And again, we're going to have a special guest join us here in a moment for CVC TV. And again, the score at halftime, 8-7. Cuyahoga Heights leading the Independence Blue Devils here on CVC TV. I want to remind you, of course, of our presenting sponsor. Of course, it's the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. And, of course, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and us here at CVC TV. Well, I want to welcome into the broadcast. He's been covering the CVC across football, soccer, pretty much every sport you can imagine this fall. He's been all over the place, and he's with us in the booth tonight as well. Cameron Palmer joins us here live on the broadcast tonight. Cam, how you doing, brother?
Good. How are you doing, Kyle?
I am doing fantastic, enjoying the game. Obviously, a tough start down on the sideline. I know, obviously, you kind of worked the sidelines for us, too, and I imagine a lot of tense moments with Devin Dietzick and that injury. It happened just a few plays into the game. I'd ask to kind of know, did you hear anything down there about him at all and the status of Devin? Obviously, it's something we don't want to take too much time on, but still, he's obviously one of the most popular players. We've called him in football, basketball, every sport. It seems he's always making plays. Did you hear anything about Devin at all before we begin?
Well, from what I could tell, it's just kind of what happened on the play is crowns of the helmet connected, and that kind of led to the moments. As far as anything after that, I have not heard, but I send my prayers and my well wishes to him. Obviously, it's a scary moment. You never want to see that at any level of any sport in any capacity. So I hope he recovers and that he can come back next week and have a strong showing for Cuyahoga Heights.
I appreciate that update, Cam. So let's talk about your coverage of the CVC, man. You were pretty much all over the place, huh?
Yeah, I try to do as much as I can. You know, I have a lot of fun. This is great. You know, high school sports is awesome. I'm 2 years out of high school. I'm a Cardinal graduate, so I'm familiar with the CVC a little bit, but not a whole lot. I'm learning as I go. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. I've made a lot of really great connections, and I think I've learned a lot about just sports individually. You know, soccer I learned a lot about. I'm learning a lot more about volleyball this year. I've kind of started to understand swimming in the fall, as well as track and field, which they're their own beast, man.
I tell you what, it's all arcing how we cover things here on CVC and ChagrinValleyConference.com. And what are some of the things that stood out to you on the field to this point? I know you've been covering different teams throughout the year. You've been able to kind of get touch base on multiple different teams. What's really stood out to you that you've kind of noticed? Certain teams, certain players you've kind of marked in, like, hey, we need to keep an eye on this or that?
There's a lot of teams that like to run the wing tee or a variation of it. For me, I like to see teams air it out. I like what Independence does, but it's interesting for me, especially for tonight, to see how Independence and Cuyahoga Heights are two very different styles of offense. Independence will kind of go 60-40 run to pass to run. They're gonna air it out. They're gonna take deep shots, and you see Cuyahoga Heights, you know, tight formations, and there's three guys who can get the ball at any point. And I think it's hard on me when I'm tracking stats and taking videos on the sideline to kind of follow, but it makes it that much more fun, and it keeps you in the game, and it keeps you focused. But as far as anything else, I want to kind of go back to that Perry Kirtland game. It was the same kind of thing. You were there. I was on the sideline.
It was a phenomenal game, man. I'll tell you what, that may have been, I said it during the broadcast, I've been calling sports for the better part of half my life, 15 years, and that was honestly probably the best high school football game I've ever been to, called, seen, experienced, whatever insert synonym you want to throw in there for that. I mean, it was phenomenal. It was a great game, 3 overtimes. You just don't see that between two defending state champions in their own divisions. I mean, phenomenal. And I mean, to be on the sideline in that moment, man, I was a bit jealous of you in that sense, because that would have been amazing.
I'll tell you what, I still have chills thinking about it. You can see right now. I'm
well, Double's got the coat behind you if you want to throw it on if you got chills.
No, I'm close to it, man. But between all the things that happened that game, defensive stands on the goal line, multiple of them. We had a fumble recovery for a touchdown that kind of kicked things off in that first half by Owen McCoon. Kirtland missed a field goal Kirtland missed, had a field goal blocked by Vince Tomasic of Perry. Triple overtime. You just don't see it. And crazy enough, a couple weeks ago, Cuyahoga Heights in Sugar Falls, actually, I believe it was last week, go to double overtime. Cuyahoga Heights, I believe, squeaked that one out 21-14.
They did.
CVC's playing some really good games this year. It's one of the best conferences in the state, in the area, and we do things that are so unique, unlike any other conference, and it's a true honor to do what I get to do for this conference.
It's honestly great to have you here too, man. And you mentioned kind of wide-reaching. Let's talk about some of the other sports. You mentioned you've been able to learn a little bit more, obviously, about some of the other sports that go on during the fall season. We're obviously prepping and getting ready, too, for winter sports, too, when that all gets going. And I know that's going to be a big footprint for us as well that we're trying to cover. But tell us about some of the other things you've learned and some of the things you've seen when it comes to other sports and who's been kind of standing out for you when you've been able to go and experience that.
Well, I'm going to start with Independence Volleyball. I saw them last night, and they played great. Conference went over Lutheran West. They are undefeated in the conference, 6-0. And I want to kind of take a step back to a couple weeks ago. They beat Kenston in 4 sets, 3 sets to 1. And to me, I covered Kenston a little bit last year with a different company. And that's a team that was just a few points away in a 5th set against Marlington, who's traditionally a really great volleyball program, very strong program, of making it to states and a really loaded Division II. There's teams like Gilmore, Lake Catholic. It's hard to win in Division II. So, it's kind of anybody's field there.
Yeah.
But Independence came out strong, and they really took care of business. Kenston took the first set. Indy kind of just took over after that, and it was kind of a statement to me. It was my first time seeing Indy. I hadn't seen Kenston since that regional final. It was kind of a show me what you got right now this year, and I think I learned a lot about Kenston, and I also learned a lot about Independence as well. And I think I learned even more last night with their senior night. I saw some of the seniors who maybe don't get all the attempts, the swings, and even the playing time. They kind of got some of it last night, and they showed that they can be versatile and they can have multiple different players attack you at any point, at anywhere on the front line and in the pins.
Yeah, definitely, man. I tell you, the way they've been able to step up and the season they're having is fantastic. I see Kirtland highlighted on your sheet here, and I can't help but wonder what sport it is besides football, because I know when we talk about football and the Hornets, it's obviously self-explanatory. I mean, what Coach Laverty and company have done over there on the gridiron has been fantastic, but they're standing out in other sports too.
Volleyball, currently, as things stand right now as of recording, they lead the Chagrin Valley Division in volleyball. They recently just took down Berkshire, who they split with last season in 5. Really great volleyball game, probably one of the better ones I've covered. Kind of going back to that Marlington game and Kenston game, that was a lot of fun. I think that one's neck and neck with it. Their girls soccer team is really good. They got a lot of really good players, and they kind of switch things up every now and then. I've covered a fair share of their games, and I see new players kind of doing things and moving all over the field at different points throughout the game and just the year, which is that's important. When you get to the postseason, you got to know who you can trust. And if you can trust, you put 11 on the field, if you can trust 14 girls or 14 boys for the boys' side, that's encouraging for Coach Josh Sleddick. And for them, that can mean a lot moving forward. It's traditionally a strong program, and they've always done a lot. And then just kind of finishing up on that volleyball, they're a great team. They have a rematch with Berkshire coming up, I believe, this coming week.
Which Berkshire's having a good season too, right?
They really are. They took VSJ, who's another really strong program in the area, to 5 sets. They fell, but you take a really good program to 5 sets, and they've played some other tough games. And I think right now in the Valley Division for volleyball, it is a 4-team race. Crestwood's in it. Cardinal, my alma mater, is in it. They just took down Wycliffe last night in 3 to keep themselves in it. Berkshire's right there, and Kirtland is currently sitting. I would say sitting pretty, but I think they got to feel those 3 other teams breathing down their neck, and I'm so excited for this finish. It could be crazy hectic, but that's why I love what I do.
It's honestly awesome, man, and your coverage has been fantastic. Of course, it's ChagrinValleyConference.com, where you can find all the different write-ups and information, and the coverage is wide-arcing, expanding all throughout the CVC, and it literally stretches from the western point of Cuyahoga County all the way up through to Ashtabula. I see Edgewood on your list too. Obviously, the volleyball has been fantastic. They've done great, of course. We know the football program up there does a pretty good job as well. I mean, it's just fantastic, man. Your trips up to Ashtabula, up in that area, I'm sure you really enjoy those too. Your thoughts on what you've seen on the furthest reaches. I know right now we're obviously nestled kind of on the far left side of the CVC, but For some folks that maybe don't know as much about Ashtabula, there's some really good teams up there all across the board.
Oh, absolutely. I'll start with Geneva football. I saw them a couple weeks ago against Lutheran West, and another kind of going back to that wing T thing.
Yeah.
They do it, and they do it well. But I got to give credit to first-year quarterback Luke Barbo. He's doing a very solid job, kind of not so much running it himself, but letting the other guys kind of feeding the other guys. Hayden Deemer, Caden Proy, Bryce Peters having a phenomenal season out of the backfield.
Transformation for Luke too, because he's been naturally more of a running back receiver type player, and taking that role as kind of, okay, the ball is going to be in your hands to distribute it instead of getting it distributed to you.
Yeah.
You mentioned he's been able to take that, and they've done a really good job so far.
Absolutely. Tough loss to Perry. Obviously a really great team. Defending state champion. We kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
But I don't see any reason why they can't go repeat in the Lake Division. I think them and Madison, it could be a really fun battle when they get to it week 9, I think. That could be a really fun battle. Madison looks a little different than they did last year. Their quarterback, Will Randall, is...
That kid's got a cannon. We were at the game for Lutheran West, and again, that was a tough game. They fell by 1 point, but I mean, still, just the phenomenal. I was watching him warm up on the sideline, just tossing the ball 50 yards like it was nothing. And I was like, oh man, there's 2 people I'm jealous of now. You being on the sideline and watching him with that arm throw it. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, it's something. I saw them in a scrimmage against Harvey, and he's that pro-style quarterback, which is something that they didn't have last year with Carson Alley. He was kind of more of that grounded pound. He's going to run through your face. Will Randall's going to drop back, and he's really just going to cut up a defense, and he did it really good against Harvey, and he's and the CVC, he's up there in passing yards as well. But just to kind of get back to that Ashtabula County, Edgewood volleyball, man, they're really good. One of their hitters, Faith Venzel, in the 3 games I've covered, she's put up 20 or more kills. And for those of you who don't know much about volleyball, as I did last fall, that's really, really good.
Yeah.
And their setter, Gianna Iannetta, she does a fantastic job distributing the ball to her, McKenna Rhodes. Leah Guyton gets in there, and she plays really great defense in the middle at the net. I mean, it's a really dangerous team. They just took down reigning Lake Division champ Jefferson on Tuesday. So now now Edgewood holds first place in the Lake Division. I think the second matchup is going to be that much more fun. Like I said, to me, it's kind of like the Valley Division with volleyball with those 4 teams. Right now, there's a two-headed dragon in the Lake Division, and those teams are just as good as each other. I don't see much of a difference as far as how they play, how good the talent is on the team, and they play 2 really good volleyball programs and just some really good programs across the Sugar Green Valley Conference as well.
It's all across the board, man. I think you can find a program that isn't doing something pretty dang good at this point when it comes to across the board, when it comes to different sports here in the fall. What are you looking forward to, man, before we wrap things up and throw it back to the band for a few more minutes here as we kind of move through halftime? I know we're over the halfway point in the football season at this point. We're kind of gearing up now. We're talking AA won't let me do it because it's not October yet, but playoffs and all that stuff. And we're starting to have those conversations. What are you looking forward to when it comes to just overall in the CVC as we get closer and closer to that kind of season for all the sports?
Man, postseason play, there's nothing better. I played 2 years of football at Cardinal. We hosted a playoff game my junior year. We played a playoff game here, actually, and we lost. A really close game. CVC TV was there.
Hate to bring that up, man. I apologize for that.
No,
man.
it's okay. You know, I kind of joked with Coach Martin pregame down on the sideline. I'm like, hey, you ruined my senior season of football. But it's all love, and it's football, right? It's sports. They start in the end. They start in the end in the pros, minors. It doesn't matter. They start in the end. But there's nothing like postseason in any sports. I had some really great postseason basketball games last year. I had really good postseason football games last year, postseason volleyball games. The postseason is where it's at. The lights are brightest, and that is when the Faith Venzels, the Sylvia Vosickis, the Jake Laverdis, the name anybody, man. That's when they shine. That's where names are made, and I'm so excited. It's going to be a true honor. I wish there was 100 of me so I couldn't miss anything.
I'll tell you what, man, you do a great job, nevertheless, of making sure we get everything covered through our end, and we appreciate you taking time today. It's Cameron Palmer. He's reporter, of course, for CVC TV and does work for ChagrinValleyConference.com. Cam, appreciate you taking time, man. Enjoy the second half, and thanks for stopping by, brother.
Thank you so much. Let's have a good football game.
We will, man. We will. Thank you so much.
Thank
Again,
you.
Cam Palmer here with us on CVC TV. With that, we'll take a quick break, guys. We'll come back in a few more minutes, break down the second half action on the way as Cuyahoga Heights leads Independence at halftime, 8-7, here again on CVC TV.
Have you ever had an unwanted guest? No, not your ex, not your neighbor. I'm talking about an animal that belongs outside that you find inside your home. Well, guess what? Alpha Animal Removal will take care of all of that for you. From trapping and removal to animal damage repair to prevention screening and more. Alpha Animal Removal will ensure your unwelcome guest stays out. So the next time you need to trap or remove your unwanted wildlife guest, go to alpha-animal-removal.com.
He shoots, he scores!
Think you have what it takes to be a sports broadcaster if you have a passion for sports. Ohio Media School can train you in just 8 short months to be an announcer, host, radio personality, and so much more. Get paid to talk sports, flexible class schedule, hands-on training and financial aid for those who qualify. Start your career now by visiting us online at beonair.com or call 3-112-884-8000.
Score at halftime again, 8-7. Cuyahoga Heights leading Independence here on CVC TV. Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony Alford with you as he chows down on a couple muffins from the concession stand.
They do a great job.
You had a full lunch break at halftime. How about that?
I did. They got blueberry muffins right behind us. This is really good. But go ahead. We got a football game to talk about. Go ahead.
We do. It was an eventful one. 6 total turnovers in that first half as Bull defense stepped up huge. Speaking of stepping up huge, we can't talk about the Independence Cuyahoga Heights rivalry without mentioning tonight's scoreboard sponsor, Ramito's Pizza.
And where I'll be after the game.
That's right. I may have to join you. Located on Brecksville Road over in Independence. Enjoy the CVC TV Game of the Week with the best sheet pizza in town. Pepperoni, supreme, meat lovers, or cheese does not matter. Ramito's, of course, has you covered. Place your order right now. It's halftime. Get it? Maybe you can get the pizza before the end of the game. 216-524-8858. That's 216-524-8858.
It's going to be a great time, of course. Think about the pizza shop that's in the heart of this rivalry, and it's this one right here, right in the heart of Independence. Get the Ramito's Pizza, our scoreboard sponsor here today, all over the field here, too.
Yeah.
Here at Cuyahoga Heights. So want to thank them. Of course, Mike Connors, the owner, he's working right now, preparing your pizza and your sheet pizza and your party. So here we go. And he's preparing for a pizza for a game that this has turned out to be. Incredible game. Wondering how the turnovers are going to be limited.
Yeah, what do you tell your quarterbacks when you go into the locker room here? I mean, obviously we've seen Dom Narduzzi throw a couple interceptions. We've seen on the other side Zach Schaefer throw 3 in that first half, all on consecutive drives. What are you telling your young signal callers here to try and get their minds right? Because against a low-scoring game, the offenses haven't been able to really get out there because the defenses have been playing so solidly to this point. I mean, someone's got to break through here.
Well, true. And I guess what you tell, obviously evaluate your reads. You don't want to stare down your defenders. That's one thing. Okay, you don't want to stare down your options. But if the first read's not there, go to the second read. But what's happening is that these DBs, especially the safeties, they're reading these quarterbacks. So they're stepping into these interceptions. It's not one of these situations where the ball is just coming to them. They're forcing their way. They're reading the quarterback. So you got to make, maybe that second level read. And then also receivers got to help too, right? You want to come to the football. You can't just have the DBs come to the football. Use the receivers. You got to force your hand, help out your quarterbacks, come to the football, and make those plays.
So a couple of short passes on the last drive for Cuyahoga Heights before they took the knee, obviously, to end the first half way that we were saying, okay, you know what? We're starting to get some momentum. We were starting to see, Zach Schaefer start to build a little bit of confidence, get some completions down. And then, again, a pass that was thrown over the middle and intercepted by Ressler in a diving play, his second interception of the game. The first one, of course, led to the only points Independence has been able to get on the board tonight. I mean, it's tough when you're a sophomore quarterback, too, in that offense. Maybe asking him to throw the ball a little bit more than we've seen over the past few years from that position. Trying to be able to do that in the situation, it can get a little challenging.
The only thing I will say, though, where it may not be too much of an alarm, a good chunk of those interceptions, and there was a fumble in there too, happened on 4th down. So it was already going to be a turnover on downs anyway, so you're trying to be aggressive.
Yeah, on Independence's side, that's definitely been the case. It seems every single turnover they have has been on that down. So here we go. They're going to punt the ball away is Heights. Line drive kick's going to go down and get taken in by Independence at their 25. Turning upfield and brought down past the 35 down to the 37-yard line. That's the Blue Devil returner on the play. And that's where Dom Narduzzi and company will take over.
Now, at some point, I will have to step away because I injured myself in the 50-50.
Oh, you did?
I did, so.
You injured yourself in the 50-50. You got hurt getting a ticket.
Paper cut.
Ah. Yeah, that will happen. Got to be careful.
We're going to see here if this Blue Devils, as less awkwardly as possible,
What's
try
the
to move
term I'm
on.
looking for you? It's ridiculous. That's what it is. Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
First down is going to be a fake handoff on the inside. Fumble with balls on the deck, and it's recovered by Cuyahoga Heights. First play and another turnover, the 7th of the ball game.
And watch how it happened, too. Oh, right immediately, hand into the handoff, never got possession of the handoff, and that ball immediately came to the turf.
Yeah, Gavin Chamberlain got in there too. And during the handoff, Double-A, the hands went in, so it wasn't even a result of not a clean handoff. It was the handoff never really got off to begin with because Cuyahoga Heights was in the backfield, and now they have the ball one play into this third quarter.
And short field, too, to just operate their offense.
Yeah, momentum now. Can they capitalize? First down. Handoff up the middle, and that was to Chamberlain. 3 yards for Gavin Chamberlain. He had 61 yards on the ground in that first half, Double-A. And we talked about that one drive, one of those interceptions that resulted in that drive ending for Cuyahoga Heights. Chamberlain had ran for 3 first downs in that drive, really building momentum. See if they go back to him a lot in the second half.
I was surprised that they didn't stick with that plan in that drive.
This time it's going to be a keeper for Schaefer. More of what we saw in the first quarter. He's still on his feet, pushing forward, and Schaefer going to get past the 25-yard line. I think he should have the first down. We'll see where the official spot is. And it will be. They're going to move the chains.
So their issues, the Red Wolves, has not been on the ground. The ground has not been – the only time it's been an issue is if they had a penalty and they're playing behind the sticks. They're playing ahead of the sticks right now. This is what they do. They're trying to push through and utilize, the smaller body count of the Blue Devils.
All right, so here we go. First down and 10. Ball down on a 25-yard line of Independence. An early fumble from the Blue Devils. Given possession as Chamberlain gets the carry, and got a few there.
And you stick with it. There's no reason, to be perfectly honest. I know you want to keep things balanced, Kyle. There's no reason at this moment to put it in the air. There's no reason. You keep everything on the ground. You have multiple options on the ground, and you just drive down the field. You're getting yards after contact every play.
Well, Gavin Chamberlain himself has been averaging close to 5 yards a carry. There's no reason really to deviate from that if you're Coach Martin. This time he is swallowed up in the backfield, though. Yeah, they try to go different there. Schaefer actually kept that ball again. It's that offense for Cuyahoga Heights where you just never know really who has the ball to the last second.
True. And great defense. But, again, their success has been downhill running. But interesting situation. 3rd and 7 here, Kyle.
No, Schaefer's
they're going to put it in the air.
Yeah, he's in the gun again. He's taken one play and ran it from this spot, but we'll see what he does here. 3 interceptions on the night. Schaefer looking to throw. It's a quick pass to the outside. That one is caught, turned, and near the 15-yard line. They're going to say they moved the chains. Van Divner made the catch. A quick throw on a quick out, and just enough to get the first down.
And those have been the passing plays that's been successful, those out routes where it's not in the traffic of the defender. Either your receiver's going to get it or nobody's getting that ball. Keep those safe plays. Now go back to the ground.
And now you can just go back to ground and pound. As Double-A mentioned, first down. Handoff, Chamberlain working on the inside. Eventually get torn down by Shetter, but he'll get down to the inside the 10, maybe the 9-yard line.
Chamberlain does a great job of sliding down the offensive line once he has the ball. Like, he is able to quickly identify the pockets that's open for him and really, really slide through an attack.
So 2nd and 4 on the 9. They can get a first down without scoring, Double-A, which is important when you're running the ball this much. Want to be able to get as many plays and take as much time off the clock. We're already under 9 minutes to go in this third quarter. Chamberlain has it. He's running through inside the 5 down to about the 2 or 3 yard line. That should be enough, I believe, for a first down in goal.
And this is becoming a little dicey here if you're Independence, because if the Red Wolves, they score here and they convert the 2-point conversion, it's a 3-possession game.
Schaefer again under center, 1st and goal. Going to turn, hand off, left side. Chamberlain trying to work his way through and gets in. For the 2nd time tonight, Gavin Chamberlain gets in the end zone. And a huge drive right there for Cuyahoga Heights. They got great field position, and they capitalize with the touchdown.
And the offensive line just putting in work, just dominating. And you see there in the replay, did a great job. So we got a player down after the touchdown.
16 carries unofficially for 80 yards and 2 scores from Chamberlain tonight. He has been successful, and he is the reason he's responsible for all 14 of those points. He ran in the 2-point conversion as well the first time double A, so I can actually say that and it makes sense.
That is 100% true. And again, just, utilizing your strength up front. And, I understand you want the balanced attack, and I get it. I get it. You can't operate throughout if you don't have a passing game, but this is their bread and butter. Just going right down the field, easy possessions, easy passes that only your guys can get, but great offense.
Another touchdown for Cuyahoga Heights, and we're appreciating the motor of Gavin Chamberlain. Want to talk about motors? Well, if you're looking to buy, sell, and trade, or repair your ATVs and equipment, you can look no further than Hobby Motorsports and Equipment. They offer top deals and expert repairs for all your motorsports needs. Whether you're upgrading or need a quick fix, our team's got you covered. Visit, again, the Facebook page, Hobby Motorsports and Equipment, or even just go to the location over in Kirtland off 7935 Euclid Chardon Road. Hobby Motorsports and Equipment, your trusted source for all things ATV and equipment. There was an injured Independence player on the field for a moment there.
Now, remember, one of the reasons why Cuyahoga Heights went for 2 and got it, there was a penalty on the extra point. I believe it was an offsides penalty last time.
That was Alex Waski who got off the field, number 55, under his own power, was able to limp off. And I think we're going to see an extra point. It's up now, double A.
Again, it will still be a one-possession game, of course.
Yeah, Bryce Rush is going to line that one up. It's on the way. It's up. Ty Arking, and it is good. So the score now 15-7. It's an 8-point game here on CVC TV. Cuyahoga Heights forces the fumble on the first play for Independence on the offensive end. And, of course, then their own offense, the Red Wolves, goes about 45 or so yards for 6.
After a while, turnovers will burn you. After a while, and, you don't have that many opportunities with possessions when Cuyahoga Heights is on the field. You just don't. So, see if Independence can respond.
7 turnovers in the game combined for both teams. Phenomenal stat. Just don't expect to see that. And it's close. You hear your 7 turnovers and think, oh, maybe it's one-sided. But honestly, 4 turnovers for Independence, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. On the other side, 3 interceptions for Cuyahoga Heights. It's been back and forth. But right now, Heights is leading that battle, and that's why they're up by 8 points.
And it was a beautiful fumble, strip. That was a beautiful strip, too.
You can never ask more. Yeah, you're in the backfield right on the handoff. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, just reaching your hand out there. So that was beautiful to see defensively.
The ever-dangerous Rocco Wrestler, one of the returners back for Independence, as they try to make some more noise. The offense has been able to make some moves and put some drives together, but it's been on the other side of the field in Cuyahoga Heights territory where they've stumbled a little bit. This time on this pass possession, it was in their own territory, but we'll see if the Blue Devils have an answer. Last time the Red Wolves scored, Independence did. It's happened on the defensive end. Science will boot this one away. It's high. It's arcing. It's going to be taken at the 16-yard line. And return for the Blue Devils. Got a return down inside or the 35-yard line. A solid return right there. And that was Stefan Milnarchik, who got a gain out there. And some decent starting field position for the Blue Devils this possession, double A.
And he was pumped up, too, after that return. So, see what's going to happen. I had an old football coach before always say, you got to end. You laugh every time I say this, but your possession needs to end with a kick in some way, shape, or form, even if it's a punt, because you're playing a field position battle. That's not the mantra of this football game to this point.
We had to kick that in the last possession.
That is true. That's why they're leading.
They took your advice. Exactly.
That's why they're leading.
Just listen to you all the time, man. We'd be all set. Durden gets the carry on the right side, and he gets chopped up after a gain of about 2. Solid tackle on the outside there for Cuyahoga Heights. That was Ben Armbrust. I feel like we've said the Armbrust brothers' names a bunch of times tonight.
Offensively and defensively, we've said their names. Those guys making an impact. So, Independence, their opportunities has just been striking downfield. But, of course, we're talking about playing that clean football. See what happens here.
2nd and 6. Narduzzi going to fake, step up in the pocket, throwing over the middle. It's low, and it is incomplete. He was looking for his receiver, Sears, and he could not bring that in, so it's going to bring up 3rd down. Like every time we see a throw double A, we get kind of nervous.
I know. Like, wait a minute. If nobody's taking off there, Sears, number 18, he's made some impact plays earlier in this game. He was trying to work him back in on the receiving front.
Third down and manageable. It's about 6-7 yards here. So
they ran a bubble screen earlier that was a bit successful.
This time it's a throw, and it's tipped down, and that was almost intercepted. It was for Reinerth, and I tell you, Unger got in there and knocked that ball down. The homecoming king having a pretty solid night tonight.
So I was watching the monitor during that play. He came in and out of the screen so fast. Right, very fast.
Again, another player down for Independence. Gives us a chance to talk to you a little bit more about if you're looking to break into this industry, AA. Of course, you know a little bit about Ohio Media School. It's the exciting world of broadcasting, film, and digital media. That Ohio Media School here in Cleveland offers hands-on training in TV and radio broadcasting, audio production, sports broadcasting, and more. Their real-world approach, taught by industry professionals, ensures you're job-ready in just about 8 months. Located over in Valley View, not too far from us here tonight. And the Cleveland campus is your gateway to a rewarding career in media. Visit beonair.com to start your journey today.
We actually heard during the homecoming presentation earlier today that one of the students was interested in working at ESPN, and that's the path right there. OMS get you right in, get you
great first step.
Right out of high school, we'll go right there, get the sign up, get that path there. Got the general program, got the sports emphasis program. So
graduate of both sitting next to you tonight.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how get things started. So, man, what a night here in Cuyahoga Heights, the homecoming night.
It's still coming down a little bit out there. Still seeing some rain.
Stepping out there.
It's comfortable, though. It's still in the 70s, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, this is
a little breeze.
You know what this rain? This is the rain that you want if you're a player during two-a-days. You have that hot sun all the time and stuff, and it's like, finally it's raining. Oh, my, it's a little more comfortable.
Well, as active day continues, Unger's going to go back to return this punt as Independence will have to boot it away. 7:43 to go in this third quarter.
But for them, this is a win. It's not a turnover.
Bit of a rugby-style punt. It goes down the right side. Unger's going to slide, and he'll catch the ball. There's a marker. Was there a flag that came out too?
Yes and yes.
Maybe
now it's possible.
Through two instead of one? Or
yeah, they picked up the flag.
Okay, he's waving it off, yeah.
He took out the wrong flag. Of course, the orange flag is anytime a punt's fielded and whatnot, a kick's fielded. So you see that every special teams play. But
yeah, ball marker, that kind of stuff. And Unger slid into that play like he was Derek Jeter sliding into third base on a ball in the gap in left center. Well, sorry, that's a poor analogy in Cleveland, but nevertheless.
Well, the other team in Cleveland.
Jose Ramirez said that.
Thank you.
Yeah, two-run double and slid in the second. There
thank
you go.
you. October is coming up.
For both teams. And handoff up the middle, it's Chamberlain again.
You do know if that matchup does happen in the
ALCS.
In the LCS, there will be some tense broadcasting booths. About what would they be? Week 8, week 9, week 10, week 8 or week 9?
No, I look at it like this. It's a win-win for me. Because Cleveland is my second favorite team.
No.
So whoever makes it, cool. That means one of them's going. That's kind of exciting.
I have one. Just one.
That's no fun. Handoff on the right side, spun through, and Divner almost got that first down double.
You know what it is, Kyle? Here, you can only root for one. You can't root for both Independence and Cuyahoga Heights, even if you have family, even if you have friends in both districts, both high schools. You can't just – you got to root for one.
That was the tearing of families apart in the background you heard. The double A said that. Third and short coming up for
I mean, what parent would send their kids to both districts?
A dive for Chamberlain who just works his way through. He only needed 2. He got about roughly 7, and he'll move the chains again.
He's on his way to – if the Red Wolves hold on and win this game, he's the favorite to win the player of the game because you think about the impact he has made on the ground, utilize his speed. Again, every time we mention he gets extra yards, chomping his legs. He is doing a phenomenal job leading this offense tonight.
The steadying presence after the turnovers we've seen, the 3 interceptions, being able to run the ball like they've been able to.
That's spot on. They needed that.
They do. Is Chamberlain going to get the ball again on the left side. This time we'll get pushed back after a gain of maybe 2.
I'm not sure if you're keeping a stat of how many carries he's had.
19 carries for 91 yards and 2 scores tonight for Chamberlain. He also has the 2-point conversion after the first score that he ran in.
It's amazing. 19 carries. You almost feel like, the way the first half was going, he already should be like in the mid-20s. But, man, you're right. You're spot on. A stabling presence.
Definitely bring things back. Full circle is this time Schaefer's going to keep it. He found a hole. Schaefer works his way through and gets spun down after a gain past the 35 down to the 32-yard line. So you keep diving. This time Schaefer pulls it back and gets a solid gain of about 17 yards and a first down.
He was waiting for him to, like when is he going to get the QB keeper? Where is he going to keep the ball like he was a ton in the first quarter? Finally did it. Got big yards. It's hard to bring him down, too.
Talk about the size as a sophomore quarterback, 6'2", 210, able to work his way through and power spin through and get down inside the 35-yard line. So the Red Wolves now threatening again for the second time in this third quarter. And Divner in motion. It's a handoff inside again to Chamberlain. His 20th carry. This time it goes for about 3.
And they're not messing around now. It's just operating the offense, power offense. And unfortunately, from the Blue Devils standpoint, this is where the roster size now is, you're taking punishment now.
Yeah, you're taking a lot of punishment. Your defense is on the field for a long time, too, with that effort, and the offense is to come back out and try and get that. Coach Adams talked about it. Don't get a lot of rest. A lot of time. Oh, they can come off during spec. No, they can't. They all play that, too. And it's a handoff again up the middle.
We don't talk about that as much, too, because we see this sometimes, like, all right, coaches got to make, some adjustments, in between possessions. And you can't, with certain players because they're on special teams. They're playing at different sides. So the player you want to talk to, you may not have an opportunity except timeouts in the half.
And even the end of quarter, that kind of stuff, too, which at this point, the way Heights has been able to control the possession here is it is 3rd down and 5. But they've taken a lot of time off the clock in this third frame. Chamberlain gets another handoff. This time he gets stopped. Short. 4 yards there. So with that carry, unofficially, his 22nd of the night, Chamberlain does eclipse 100 yards. He's at 101 now with 2 scores.
Yeah, but we're at a critical – congrats. That's a huge deal. We are at a critical moment here because that was not enough for a first down.
No, they're going to say he was 2 yards short here, so it's going to be a big opportunity for Independence in this defense. Can they get a stop and force a turnover on downs? We'll see a few turnovers on 4th down tonight.
I mean, were they there 2 yards out, too young, go back to the ground.
There will be a handoff up the middle.
I think the extra push, Kyle.
Yeah, I think that extra little shove at the end and churning those legs, Chamberlain.
It's not official yet.
Waiting for the official ruling. And Independence thinks they are short. Where's the spot? That's going to be important. They're going to say it's short. It's a turnover on down. So the Blue Devils get a huge stop. Only down 8 points. The offense gets the ball back. They stop Heights. They drove a good chunk of the field there, but the Blue Devils bend, don't break, and get the ball back on offense.
Big opportunity here for Independence. Great stop. I thought the extra push, but you wonder at some point, can this Blue Devils defense kind of lock down there and prevent the extra yards? And they did just enough to get the turnover on downs.
Coach Adams said if we can stop the dive, if we can take that one thing and get a few stops with it, we have a chance in this game. And now with under 3 minutes to go in this third quarter, Independence has the ball just down 8 points. Narduzzi again, the shotgun will hand off. Durden going to break left side. He cuts through. Good gain for Durden. He gets down near the first down marker.
Even his little, his burst of speed too. Sophomore. And, man, I'll tell you, breaking through, see if Independence can kind of push here. They didn't get the first, but it's pretty close.
Doing some hurry-up offense for the Blue Devils now. Second and short coming up. Narduzzi turns. He's going to keep it himself. Breaks to the right side, dives forward, and gets the first down at the 38-yard line.
You know, we've been talking about Schaefer as the threat on the ground, but Narduzzi, he has legs too. He has the wheels too on the ground to keep things going. And now the Blue Devils, hard to believe the way the Cuyahoga Heights was moving down the field offensively, that this is only a one-possession game.
And they've stuck around despite the turnovers from both sides. Still a very close game. First down for Narduzzi and company. He's going to roll, pitch out to the right side. It's Ressler. Turns upfield. Ressler still on his feet, spins through and gets brought down past the 45, near the 46. Little pitch, little run. We said we may see Rocco Ressler get some carries tonight, too. That time it's for 8 yards.
Multiple broken tackles, too, a little bit there on that pitch to the outside. And he's hard to bring down in open space.
And 3 catches on the night. First rush for positive gain there for Ressler, who's got a couple interceptions on defense. 1 return for a touchdown. It's led Independence to get on the scoreboard for the first time since week 2.
Now they're looking for their first offensive points.
They got some momentum here in offense. Second and short. Narduzzi turns, hands, Durden working right side, cuts back up the middle, pushing through, and he should have the first down. Needed 2, got 4, first down, Independence.
And extra help, too, from their linemen just to get that extra push. Now the Blue Devils on the move, driving down. And if they can get some, keep going with their momentum, they'll be off to something.
I almost don't want the quarter to end if you're the Blue Devils in that sideline, the way their offense has been able to put some pieces together on this drive.
Well, they're taking their time, too, getting the plays in, making sure the right plays is in. They're waiting for the look defensively and sending the play in.
Here we go, Narduzzi again in that pistol. Durden behind. He's going to look to pass, looking, throwing, middle. He's got a receiver. It's high. It's incomplete. Had the receiver there streaking down the middle of the field. That was Monarchik, and just a little bit too high, and the ball falls to the turf.
And that's been the tricky thing of this game, just that touch, getting that extra touch. Remember, again, wet football, too, so not able to bring that in, and another opportunity.
Yeah, second down.
It's been a couple of those moments for both of these teams.
Yeah, we're talking about a couple, balls bounced a certain way, and this could be a tie ball game. Independence could have been leading. As Ressler gets put emotional, take that pitch again. Rocco gets the ball on the right side, cuts back inside again. That play's worked. He puts his head down, still on his feet, and eventually gets brought down after a gain of about 7 to 8 yards.
I'll tell you what, Durden, number 33, had a great kickoff block on the outside of the perimeter that really opened things up. And you need to see that from the Blue Devils if you want those outside plays to work.
Third and short, and I think that's what's going to take us to the end of the quarter. AA. The score 15-7. Cuyahoga Heights on top of Independence as we move into the fourth quarter, but the Blue Devils have momentum as they head into Cuyahoga Heights territory. Well, have you ever had an unwanted guest in your home? No, I'm not talking about AA. How about unwanted wildlife guests? That's what I'm talking about. Alpha Animal Removal is Northeast Ohio's #1 service for animal control. They even specialize in the exclusion and humane removal of things like bats. Yeah, that's right, there are bats in Northeast Ohio. If you need your wildlife guests to be safely trapped and removed, visit alphaanimalremoval.com. That's alphaanimalremoval.com. Fourth quarter action getting underway here shortly in what has been a fantastic game, AA. We've been blessed for the past few weeks here to have a bunch of great football on CVC TV.
Well, close competition, too. I mean, let's just think about, in this case, rivalry game. In last year's game, when we were in Independence, the game got away from the Blue Devils very, very quickly. But this go-around, when you have multiple turnovers, it's anybody's ball game. Now, again, when Cuyahoga Heights is on offense, I trust that they could run the ball downhill, down the field, but they're going to have to come up with a big stop. I believe we got a third down coming up. They're going to have to come up with a big stop because the Blue Devils right now, offensively, they're starting to feel confident about what they're able to do.
They got some momentum on this drive. A couple first downs. They found a play that's worked too, getting Rocco Ressler the ball, running the football now. Normally receiver, does a little bit of everything on defense too, but he's been able to contribute on the offensive end rushing. 3rd and short. As we start the 4th quarter, it's going to be a keeper for Narduzzi. He slides back left side, working through, gets spun, and he's near the first down marker. He may be just short.
Wish that snap was a little bit lower there. It kind of impacted the timing a little bit. But you're right. It's going to be.
It's 4th and 1, and it's a short yard here. So Coach Adams and company going to go for this. And Narduzzi. I don't believe taking the snap here. It's Ressler. Ressler's going to take the snap. It's high. He still finds a way and gets the first down. Ressler cuts upfield and slips at the 30 down to the 28. Rocco Ressler had some room. He gets 13 yards, and it's a first down on 4th and short. I noticed Narduzzi not taking the snap. It was Ressler, and he moved the chains.
And he took a high snap. He took a very high snap, went right down the field. He was 1 block away from scoring a touchdown. I mean, it was really opened things up. Great 4th down response for the Blue Devils.
Decided to go with a direct snap to the receiver who has had a fantastic evening. Now Narduzzi back in. He's going to look to run. It's a breakdown play. Narduzzi slides forward. I'll tell you what, that was supposed to look like maybe a handoff to Durden on the left side. He went right. Narduzzi kept it on the broken play and was able to get 3 to 4 yards, and now there's a player down. And I think Double A is that Narduzzi that's down too.
Yeah, they're going to stretch him out right now. If it is him, we'll know, for sure once he's up. But it is a bit humid,
Yeah, it's still 71 degrees out as we again hit the 9 o'clock hour here tonight. Of course, appreciate you tuning in for CVC TV, and it's a chance to obviously remind you of our presenting sponsor for us in the program. It's, of course, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties, well, they include everything from dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. And for all your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. And that is Narduzzi, who's getting stretched out on the field, Double A right now, the lower leg. And talk about Independence coming into the game, 21 helmets we saw out there when we were down on the field pregame. Yep. Can't really afford to lose that many players, and the importance of Narduzzi, who is not just a quarterback, he plays linebacker on the other side as well. So,
and we was talking about his health. Last year, he missed a few games, a year ago. So when we played this game in week 6 a year ago, week 5, week 6 a year ago, it was really his first action back. This year, he's been able to get those reps, and he has really, showed out here. So obviously hoping for the best. Of course, earlier in the game, Dzik, his injury earlier in the game. So key players, just hope everyone's good. That's just.
You almost got to wonder, too, is there another quarterback on the roster you can play? I mean, obviously Ressler has shown he can take some snaps here, but Narduzzi's kind of been the guy at this point. And I imagine Double A, if they decide to have to go, or if they need to go in another direction, that Ressler would be the guy that would take those snaps.
Could perhaps.
And with the run game he's been able to do, him and Durden in the backfield could be a possibility here. But we don't want to speculate. We want to make sure we wait for sure to see what's going on with the quarterback now, Dom Narduzzi, who is being stretched out on the field. You mentioned humid.
And he is communicating, too, with the trainers, too. Just want to make that clear, too.
Yeah, it looks like that left leg just getting stretched out here and just trying to work that through, because it's still 10:52 to go in this ballgame, Double A. There's a long way to go tonight.
Yeah, but you about to bring up the humidity.
And apparently, from what my weather.com app is saying, is that there's some more rain on the way. It's been kind of in and out throughout the game, and it looks like maybe it's let up a little bit here recently, but there might be some more. And Narduzzi gingerly walking off the field, that left leg, giving him some issues. As someone who's had back problems for the past couple weeks, I can sympathize with that, because that's what I looked like for a while. So, but now he looks a lot better, so that's good.
That's good. That's good.
He recovered a lot quicker than I did. So
yeah. Yeah, we hope for the best
to be
there.
17-18 again, I'll tell you what.
Now, you talked about Wrestler earlier. He did convert the 4th down. But
they're not going to put him in. It's going to be, again, right now looks like Steven Molnarchik who's going to be back there. Keeping Wrestler kind of in that receiver role that we've seen him run the ball to. So Molnarchik will at least take this snap. He's going to look. He's going to run to his right side. Trying to break through. He's got some room. Molnarchik spun down at the 21-yard line. He gets a positive gain near the 1st down.
So what would a defensive coordinator do when a new quarterback comes into the game?
Send the blitz.
Send the blitz. Right there.
Okay, bring the pressure and see how he reacts. And, well, I'll tell you what, Molnarchik hit that right side and got through. And
I was a little concerned, though, back there for a hot second. But
you wondered who was going to go in that spot, because we did see success with Rocco Wrestler taking those snaps on this drive. This time Molnarchik hands off Durden. He's going to get met immediately, and I'll tell you what, he's going to be short. So another 4th down attempt is going to be on the way. As Durden could go nowhere there with that.
Now, again, the Blue Devils, they have a kicker listed on the roster, but if it's not in range, then,
Yeah, I think they're going to, and on 4th and maybe 3 yards here, Double A again, you're going to see them go for this. As Molnarchik will take the snap again in the pistol. He's going to look to throw the ball. Molnarchik throws over the middle. He's got a receiver. It's up. It's caught. Inside. And he's in. Wrestler got in for 6. The backup quarterback, Molnarchik, throws the touchdown pass.
Watch this ball. That was a slingshot to the end zone. An amazing throw, amazing decision to throw it his way.
On 4th and about 3 or 4 yards there. That was dangerous, and I'll tell you what, they're going to go for 2. This time Wrestler's going to take it. Look at this wide set. 15-13 the score, trying to tie the ball game. Wrestler going to run. He's got a room up the middle. He's going to spin it and score. Tie ball game here at Cuyahoga Heights, 15 apiece.
Oh, wow. Watch this. All the space in the world. You spread everybody out like that. A untraditional formation. And it is a party on that sideline right now.
Tell you what, pumped up. Rocco Wrestler scores again. This time he catches the ball, then obviously runs it in for the 2-point conversion, and we have a tie ball game with under 9.5 to go tonight here at Cuyahoga Heights.
You can't write this. The starting quarterback goes down, backup comes in, it gets the 4th down. Touchdown right there.
Remember,
first offensive touchdown, because it was the pick 6 earlier. So first offensive touchdown in a few weeks for the Blue Devils.
Remember, Molnarchik was on that first drive where Cuyahoga Heights scored their first touchdown. He had that key pass interference on defense. He made that play where he ran in to the offensive player on the other side. This time, obviously, coming through on the offensive end with a huge touchdown pass after Narduzzi goes out. And all of a sudden, this ball game is essentially 0-0 again here, Double A, with 9.5 to go.
We're locked in, and again, Independence able to match Cuyahoga Heights' 2-point conversion, too. So, there you go.
It's the night of awesome formations. We saw just a wide set where the linemen were pretty much spanning the entire field equally. As now Independence will kick this ball away, and does Cuyahoga Heights have a response? Ball trailing down the left sideline, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. That's the only risk with not kicking the ball all the way through. So that penalty should put the ball, I believe, Double A at the 35? Yeah, 35.
It's tough, too, because first off, with that kick formation, you notice the guys are folding in, so it's making a push, and it's the formality Kyle's just mentioned that they're going to go to the 35.
I thought the referee was going to start doing the Macarena.
Could have. I'll tell you what.
There was a party on the Independence sideline, so you never know.
There's some thing,
There was a boombox last time we were over at Independence. There was some music playing, so.
And maybe that was the plan, too, until, the rain.
All right, so Schaefer in the shotgun here. He's been on the sideline for a minute. And he's going to look to pass. Schaefer looking, taking a deep shot over the middle. He's got a receiver, and an answer. It's caught. It is caught. Ambrose makes the play down at the 20-yard line. What a response.
You were waiting for them to connect. On first down, beating the defenders, the DBs who had a standout game, but finally these receivers have been able to break through, and a big play right downfield, and the Red Wolves, a big first down.
45 yards on a huge pass play down to the 23-yard line. Chamberlain gets the handoff, working on the inside, powers his way down to the 15. Solid run for Chamberlain of 8.
So after the big play in the passing game, you got to run all the way back down, be set, and then Chamberlain has the football. That's a tough ask for the defense to stop
I'll tell
that.
you what, and again, there's a lot of guys. There's 9 or 10 guys playing both ways for Independence. All the momentum on offense, and to have that big play come down right off the bat. Schaefer with a great ball. Out there to Ambrush, and this time Schaefer going to keep it and get spun down and be right near the first down marker. We'll see if he got it. And he did. So Schaefer did move the chains.
And again, Schaefer again with that size difference. Of course, it's underrated speed. We haven't talked about his speed, in this game. Like, just be able to get right in there, make the play. So again, somehow, some way, with that big play and then now the running attack, the balance of how this game is moving, the clock is back in the hands of Cuyahoga Heights.
Great route by Nick Umbras, too, on that.
Great route.
And that little vertical down the left side is Chamberlain gets smacked in the backfield. Huge hit. That was Narduzzi, the quarterback, who's back out there now playing defense, so he's been able to shake it off. And big play as a linebacker there, only gain of 2 because Narduzzi put the boom right there on Chamberlain.
Sometimes if you want to know if you're feeling good or not, just make a tackle.
Just hit somebody.
Just hit somebody.
Yeah, it helps.
It helps. Like, okay, all right, I got this. I'm good. I'm good now.
Second and about 8. And again, Cuyahoga Heights can get a first down at the 2-yard line. They don't have to score necessarily yet as they try to take some time off the clock here. Bit of reverse and a great read as Van Divner had nowhere to go.
And they're trying to strip it too.
It's a loss of 3. So now it's going to bring up 3rd down and long here. This is a big possession for Independence now when it comes to trying to force a field goal attempt. You don't want Cuyahoga Heights to get in for 6 here.
So the moment that I said Cuyahoga Heights is controlling the pace, 2 plays after that statement, the Blue Devils have made critical stops.
Well, they gave Van Divner forward progress, so it's going to be 3rd and 9. Schaefer looking to pass again, throwing left side. He's got a receiver. It's caught. It's out. The ball is out. It's recovered by Independence. Down at the 14-yard line. They say it was.
We wonder if it's an incomplete pass.
But I don't know. The ball looked like it was caught. We're seeing the line judge in the back saying incomplete.
It is ruled incomplete.
They're going to say an incomplete pass.
It's ruled incomplete.
Wow.
My judgment from the replay,
The ball was-
I thought it was caught and fumbled.
I don't know if it's possible to see that one more time in the booth guys back there in the truck. But
let's look at it one more time.
Yeah, we got a blue screen here. Let's see. The ball was caught.
We got slow motion. I wonder if the ball was ever tucked in.
Did he ever actually have the
that
possession?
That might have been, the slow-mo might have said, hey,
yeah.
I don't know if that ball was tucked in. That's a great replay there by our team.
Yeah, very tough. And now the field goal unit is out. Rush. And I think there was a timeout taken.
Now, we have to stress, unless this is the state championship, there is no replay in high school football. Here. That's just want to stress that.
Very few and far between to get those, yeah.
Now, we had
the privilege of replay. We can see it.
We can see.
So this is a big moment right now as the kicker to try and put this one through. Can Bryce Rush make this a 3-point lead? Snap good, hold down, kick on the way, it's up. It's got enough distance, and it is good. Rush puts it through. And with 6:31 to go, the Red Wolves retake the lead 18-15 here on CVC TV. Big kick.
Big kick, big sequence there. And you saw it on the slow-mo replay we had just a few moments ago. Perhaps not getting that ball tucked in, didn't make, a football move. The turnover did not happen, but, hey, critical stops for Independence. Red Wolves, able to get the field goal kick.
You still got 3 points out of that drive. That big pass play, it was 45 yards down the left seam. Again, a solid route ran there by Nick Ambrust, who made the big play that put the Red Wolves in scoring territory. Independence, great job of the defense. Almost thought they forced a turnover there on third down, but they'll have to settle for the defense forcing a field goal. And if you're Independence right now, again, still a lot of momentum. I know the field goal was good for the Red Wolves. They have the lead, but the offense has to feel good. They finally got in the end zone. It was the backup quarterback who threw the touchdown pass, Monarchik, but still, you got to feel pretty good if you're the Blue Devils.
Yeah, you feel pretty good. But hey, if you're Cuyahoga Heights, I'm feeling good too. You know, you got the field goal. It wasn't a turnover, so you got the field goal. You're still up, and you know, hey, let's just lock down defensively. You lock down, you can win this game.
Now, Monarchik and Wrestler are back, deep to return this kick. That one's going to be put there by Rush. Taken in by Monarchik at the 5-yard line. He turns upfield, tries to split through, and is brought down at the 25. So 6:26 to go, and see if the Independence offense can build up the momentum of that last drive on the back of a backup quarterback who came in and threw a 22-yard touchdown pass on 4th down.
And I'll tell you, the style that he threw it was literally a slingshot, getting right.
Yeah, got that little whip in his arm. Yeah.
Perfect placement, perfect ball placement. You kind of saw there. You see the...
Well, Narduzzi's coming out, so he's going to be back under center and in the shotgun and the pistol, whatever formation you want to call it.
Remember, he had the big hit on defense on the last drive, so he's good to go.
So here we go. First and 10, and Narduzzi going to throw right away. Fakes. He's going to look deep. Narduzzi taking a shot down the left side. He's got a receiver, and it's incomplete. Was going for Wrestler down the left side. They try to take their own big shot, but well covered there by Cuyahoga Heights. It was Tamir Julius who had one of the most interesting intros to his homecoming court.
Yes, he did.
Walkout that we've heard.
Yes, it was great. It was great. You should have been here, folks. It was great.
Well, again, looks like a tick for tack here for the coaching staff, trying to get a big play over on
Trying to take advantage of those man-to-man matchups.
Yeah, safety help on the back end of that came late, but Durden with the carry. He'll break through up the middle. Durden's got some room to run. He puts his head down and gets the first down. Huge run from Nav Durden, gain of about 12, and he moves the chains.
You know, Durden, a couple of these possessions here, look at this. And the blocking's on point, too. The speed is there. He has been a great presence for this offense.
13 carries, 55 yards for Durden. Another shot taken on the right side. That's off the helmet. Was it brought in? They said he brought it in. What a play. On the left sideline by Wrestler. The ball went off his helmet, and he found a way to get those feet in bounds. And it's a completion.
That pass was a bullet.
Wow.
And he was able to bring it in. That's a phenomenal job.
Great job by Wrestler, his 5th catch. And Durden gets the carry. This time gets spun down. They're going to give him forward progress. Maybe got a half a yard on that.
That's great focus by this defense. After you get that big play, you still need to lock in and immediately recognizing the run, make it a stop.
All right, so a big 3rd down here at the 45-yard line for the Blue Devils. Trying to keep this momentum going as we approach 5.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Narduzzi looking to pass. Going to look left side, taking a shot. Again, looking for a receiver, and great coverage by Ambrose in the back end. There was nowhere to go. And looking for Monarchik down that left sideline, so it's going to be 4th down. And the last time Independence was faced with a 4th down, they threw a touchdown pass. Can the offense find more magic here on their own side of the field, near midfield, on the road?
And I know there might be some out there who's like, they should punt. I'm not giving this ball back to Cuyahoga Heights with just very little time.
The way they run the football, it's going to be hard to try and get that back. Narduzzi looking, going to throw. Middle, it is caught. Big play by who else? Rocco Wrestler. He moves the chains. He needed about roughly 3 to 4. He got about 7.
Clutch throw, excellent catch, excellent route to set himself open. We said the receivers need to help out their quarterbacks, and they're doing that here in the second half.
6th catch of the game for Wrestler. He's at a big night as Narduzzi looks to throw. He's going to run out. He's got room. Left side, Narduzzi going to run and get it out of bounds near the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him out at the 42.
You saw our chain, the chain gang's like, we got to get out of the way. We got to get out of the way.
Coming full speed at him.
That camera's down there, too. The gentleman you interviewed at halftime, like, we got to get out of the way.
And Cam's like, oh, no. He played, though, so anyone can brace for that tackle. be Cameron Palmer. Of course, make sure you guys head over to the website, ChagrinValleyConference.com. Check out the great articles that Cam posts. Great interview with him at halftime.
Great job.
While you were raiding in the shop behind us here to get some food. Came back with a couple muffins.
I was giving back to the school district, okay? I was
you
giving
were.
back.
You gave him a lot. Second and short for Independence. They are moving down the field. Wrestler in motion. They hand off to Durden on the left side. Durden trying to break through. He's going to be down near the 40. It's going to bring up a third down. They're going to say he actually didn't get much, if anything, on the play. So,
great response defensively. First off, the run blitz there, so even the first option would have been a loss, but not giving up anything here. And another critical third down. Obviously 4-down territory.
The wrestler's going to take the snap here, I think. In the shotgun. He is. He's going to roll to his right. Rocco Wrestler looking to make a play. He turns upfield. He's going to have the first down past the 35-yard line.
They said he's down, Kyle.
Yeah, the ball came out towards the end, but Wrestler was down. It's a 7-yard gain, and that's going to be a first down.
Also, Independence avoided a near behind a illegal block penalty.
Another Independence player down right now. His Wrestler has been taking those direct snaps too, and he's been able to get some positive plays. Let's talk about the night for Rocco Wrestler, number 5 for Independence. 6 catches for 56 yards in that touchdown. He's got 4 carries unofficially for 36 yards. He's got 2 interceptions on defense, including a return for a touchdown. He's been doing it all over the field tonight, Double A.
He has, and just seeing him being utilized as the big play weapon threat that he is, has really made a difference in this football game.
He really has. It's been phenomenal to watch the impact that he's been able to make. Seemingly from the beginning of the game through obviously now just running for that big first down on 4th again.
Get a new set of downs here, though, Kyle. And seemingly anytime Cuyahoga Heights has had that big stop, Blue Devils do just enough to get the first down.
See if Tom Narduzzi and company have some more magic. It's a run by Durden on the right side. Ball's out this time. This time it's going to be a fumble. Who got it? Heights says they have it. Still waiting for your official rule here.
The official there is had his hands up hold everything.
They may say he was down on contact. They're going to give him 3. They're going to say that Independence is going to keep the ball. So that was close.
Still though 3 yards. And man, it's tough. It's been raining. Maybe not been able to tell on these screens, but it's been raining all night.
Yeah, still raining out there. Not as heavy maybe as it was, to start the game, but still you're feeling it. Pitch out here is Wrestler. He breaks the right side. Rocco Wrestler cuts back upfield. He's near the 25. So Wrestler got about 6 yards on that pitch, and it's going to be 3rd and short.
Well, and what's crazy, Cuyahoga Heights, they sent the blitz, but it was on the other side, and Independence was able to run away from the blitz. But it's going to be another, 3rd and short.
Independence has been able to convert these 3rd or 4th down and shorts here on this drive, keep it alive.
And again, clock becoming a factor in this outcome.
Narduzzi trying to draw him off sides here. Got to wonder if a timeout's coming, and it will. So Independence going to take that timeout, Double A. We got 3:10 to go in the ball game. Cuyahoga Heights with that 3-point lead. Independence driving down the field. This could be a crucial drive. Can they get the job done on offense and put more points on the board?
And I'm curious, too, if that is to happen, how much more time is going to be taken off the clock. Because even though the Blue Devils are down right now, they do kind of control the outcome of this.
You almost wonder, because when Wrestler has been in the backfield and taken a snap directly, he's been able to get the yardage needed almost every single time.
Yeah.
He's been able to stretch the field and make plays with his speed and his ability. Is that on the playbook? Is that the draw up here on these short conversion type 3rd, 4th downs? to keep going to that because you know it's been working. And then obviously
we've
the other
seen
sideline,
a few of those too. Yeah,
for if you're Allen Martin and company with that defense, how do you stop that now? How do you try and get those skill players out there and compete with Wrestler, who's been able to pretty much get what he's wanted?
Well, they're not going to sit back defensively. They're not sitting back. It's just a matter of, if you send the blitz, where does it go? But also, you need to stay home if you're the DBs as well.
So a big third down and short here in Narduzzi. Sears in motion, handoff, Durden inside, cuts through, spins through, gets the first down. Durden still going, and eventually brought down near the 17-yard line. Huge run for Durden of 9, and it's a first down.
This kid has shown up. You see here on the replay, broken tackles, got to protect the football, which he is doing. He did on that play, and a new set of downs. And again, they're in control of this clock under 3 minutes, getting the right play call in. I got to watch that towel there. The play's going to go that way.
Probably the only dry spot on the field right now is Narduzzi hands off, and Durden's going to get brought down. A huge tackle in the backfield. Oh, my goodness. Big stop there. Big 77, Luke Creedon with the stop. And
you felt like at some point this defense needed some kind of a signature play, a signature stop. Build some excitement going here because it's felt like a long drive. Even though it's really only been 3 minutes, it's felt like a long drive.
A lot of plays. Goodness, it's going to be a loss of a few on the play now. So there is Wrestler. He's going to take that direct snap, work through. There's a late hit.
I think
it's going to be a false start.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As Lenarchik got laid out on a block there.
I think Durden moved early a little bit.
And he did. And that ball going to be moved back now to the 25-yard line. So again, you're talking about fringe field goal area too. If you're looking for one of those plays, Independence obviously I'm sure wants to get into the end zone, but you're still kind of on the edge of that range to try and kick one through and tie this game. Worst case scenario here.
And again, that clock moving too, even with the penalty. So you're watching that too.
Yeah, under 2 minutes to go in the ball game. 18-15 to score. Independence trying to get a big score late on the road. Get back in the win column. Gonna throw left side, back shoulder, incomplete. Good coverage out there.
Sears was there, number 18 in the seam. Didn't see it.
It's been Knockout Wrestler's world here tonight, and he got targeted again on that bottom part of your screen. So here we go. Big third down coming up. Try to get some yards back here, and then obviously, what do you do on fourth?
And this is a deep third down, too. 3rd and 17, so.
You're talking about how far you have to go here. I imagine just trying to get some sort of chunk out of this and give yourself an option on 4th down.
Or take advantage of the man-to-man up top.
That's what they may do. Narduzzi looking, throwing middle, caught. Huge catch by Sears, brought down near the 10-yard line. He's close to the first down, but he's going to be a few yards short.
But the safety slipped a little bit there. He slipped, but he was able to recover and make the tackle. 4th and 3, you're right in the middle, kind of.
Decisions I'm glad I don't have to make, AA. This is tough. And maybe you take a timeout and talk it over, and that I think is what they're going to do on the Cuyahoga Heights side.
Again, what's their situation with their kicking? Do they trust their field goal kicker? You also look at this, too. If you look at your roster size, you just say, we got to go for the win. Overtime even is not going to do us any good. Go for the win. Maybe that's the decision, too.
And if you ask probably anyone on the offensive end right now, they're saying, yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
We got momentum. We can get these plays. We know what to do. And like we said, those direct snaps, minus that last one to Wrestler where there was a penalty for false start, they've been able to get consistently 7, 8, 9 yards on those carries. They get that this time, AA, they're going to be knocking on the door of the end zone.
Knocking on the door. In the case of Cuyahoga Heights, well, they have an opportunity. This is their opportunity here. If they don't get this stop, even if it's just a first down that they give up, they may not have an opportunity to get the ball back offensively if they give up a touchdown.
That's obviously the game you play here if you're Independence. What do you decide to do with this? And it looks like Narduzzi and company are going to come back out. So it's going to be another attempt at a 4th down conversion. They have to get 3 yards. They need to get to the 8-yard line. Can they do it? This could be the ball game, folks. Sears in motion. Narduzzi looking. He's going to pass the ball. Rolling out to his right. Narduzzi cuts through. He's going to have it. The first down. He dives through and he's close. He's down at the 1.
Oh,
what
man.
a conversion by Dom Narduzzi, who kept it himself and made the play.
His legs is a threat. His vision, his decision-making, the blocking is just on point. It's just slip right through. And being down at the 1, new set of downs, and Cuyahoga Heights has to start burning timeouts, and they're going to do it here.
That's a huge, huge first down run on 4th down and 3 for Dom Narduzzi. What a doozy, and now Coach Al Martin's going to try and draw something up to get a stop inside the 2-yard line. That's where that ball is put down. What a job by Independence. They are on the doorstep of possibly coming in and taking this game from Cuyahoga Heights.
That is your senior quarterback making a clutch play all around. And the offensive line standing tall, too. Receivers ran great routes, but your quarterback, your senior, wants this moment right here in the heart of this rivalry. That is a soul-crushing play that he just made there.
Cuyahoga Heights has 1 timeout remaining. Essentially, Independence, who does have also 2 timeouts left in their own right, they have 4 plays to get this ball 1 yard.
4 plays. They, again, control the clock and the pace of this game.
They can, again, Cuyahoga Heights can stop the clock one more time. Narduzzi's going to line up in the shotgun.
You can run 4 running plays if you wanted to.
Say, is that Wrestler? It is Wrestler. He's going to take the direct snap. Rocco Wrestler cuts inside. He scores! Rocco Wrestler in for another touchdown. With a minute to go, Independence takes the lead.
The snap was phenomenal. The snap was spot on, and Wrestler gets right in. You hear the Independence fans. They're to the left of us. And with 60 seconds to go, this is a turning point here for this Blue Devils program, who came in here with only 21 players on the roster.
Now you probably kick the extra point here, Double A. You talk about it's a 3-point game. You want to make it a 4, so a field goal would not tie it. That means Heights would have to score a touchdown. They're going to bring the field goal kicker out. This is huge. And a timeout taken by Independence to talk this through. I mean, my goodness, what a play. They went to that direct snap to Wrestler multiple times on that drive. Throughout the game, they found success. And I'll tell you what, he's caught a touchdown. He returned an interception for a touchdown. Now he has a rushing touchdown. And he's given the Blue Devils a huge lead late.
He's a special athlete. He's a special athlete, offensively, defensively. He's special. And we've seen him make special plays here on this field tonight. And it's on camera. It's on television. I mean, just to be able to watch this thing back and watch his big plays is great. But look, 60 seconds here now. Got the extra point coming, we think.
Yeah, Jamie Panici is the kicker. He's a junior.
It would make sense to kick the extra point.
Because, again, if you get that, the 4-point lead takes the field goal out of it. That means Cuyahoga Heights has to get in the end zone. They have 1 timeout and 1 minute to do so.
Takes overtime out, too.
Yes, it does. Yeah, you can't just get down where they were before and settle for a field goal. You have to try and actually get into the end zone here. So put more pressure on the offense. But can Independence's special teams get it done? Snap down, kick on the way. It is good. 22-18, the Blue Devils, all 21 of them, lead by 4 with 1 minute to go.
I think there's going to be a party at Romito's Pizza tonight.
Either way, there was going to.
There's going to be a party there.
But I'll tell you what, maybe a few more blue jerseys there than red ones if the Blue Devils can hold on. What an unbelievable drive. And now it's up to the defense for the Blue Devils to hold Cuyahoga Heights in this offense. They showed they were able to make an explosive play. Remember the 45-yard pass that was completed the last time the Red Wolves had the ball. It was a great throw, probably the best throw of the night from Zach Schaefer, right on the money to Nick Ambrust. And Coach Martin and company, they've got a minute to try and figure this one out.
And can they deliver dynamic routes, dynamic play calling, with that, even though it's predictable, obviously, what their assignment is, but Now it's clear with that extra point that was just made. They got to go the whole distance to get in the end zone to win this game, to get the go-ahead score.
We've seen some tough kicking throughout the early part of the year with elements being a problem, all that stuff as well. And both kickers tonight have done a great job converting when they've needed to.
Got to give good field position off of this kickoff. This cannot go out of bounds.
Trying to keep this ball in the middle of the field, and they'll do that. That ball straight down the middle. It's going to be taken in by the Red Wolves. Here we go on the return. Breaking right side, it's Unger. Unger tries to spin through, still on his feet, and brought down. Huge tackle. Past the 40, near the 42-yard line. That is where Heights will start.
Great field position provided by the homecoming king.
Yep. 54.5 seconds to go. That's the time Zach Schaefer and company have to try and get 6 points on the board and win this game.
This is everything you dream of, right? Your high school football, all those times, like minute to go.
Well, Schaefer 7 for 11 tonight, double A, 102 yards, 3 interceptions.
Can you lead this offense down the field, game-winning drive?
Schaefer going to throw outside. That ball is slow and incomplete. Was looking for his intended receiver on the out for Ambrust. Could not find it. Second down.
Get a quick play. It's been a few of those plays
where Independence coach is having fun of us too. So
you're right. The quarterback, receivers trying to get that connection.
It's been a minute. You talked about the drive only really technically being 4 minutes on the clock, but it was a long time with multiple timeouts.
See, you're right. It felt like a long drive.
It felt like it was they were almost down for a full quarter, sitting there waiting to come back out on the field. And the Blue Devils, well, they've been playing the entire time, so they're ready. As Schaefer looks to pass, quick one out. This time it's caught. Spun out of bounds near the first down was Van Dibner, who's right at the first down marker, and they're going to mark him, I believe, for the first down. He got 11.
You run those out routes. They don't take that much time off the clock here. There's 47 seconds. You keep running that, it's going to seem like an eternity.
Well, yeah, out of bounds with 47 seconds to go. Ball past midfield. Cuyahoga Heights has an opportunity.
And also you run those plays, you don't have to burn your own timeout.
You don't. They have both teams with one left. Schaefer takes a snap, looking, throwing middle, high, almost intercepted. It was in and out of the hands of Reiner. He almost had that ball. Look at that throw right there. It was in his belly, and he couldn't bring it in. I'll tell you what.
I think
it was that close, double A, to being over. Reiner almost had it.
Listen. Listen, if I'm a DB, I have a bullet coming right my way, a missile coming my way. I may not be ready to make that catch neither.
Also, there's less than 40 seconds or 50 seconds to go in the game where you're up by 4. Yeah, it's definitely a big play. And will that haunt Independence, or is it a sign of things to come? Schaefer again in the shotgun. Looking, Schaefer throwing short, high, in and out of the hands, incomplete. Almost tipped by Narduzzi. And could not bring it in on the sideline was Ambrust, who maybe that ball affected just enough, and now third down.
Well, remember again, now we're at the point where there's no reason for the cornerbacks and the safeties to press. They're giving a little bit of space, but not too much.
Yeah.
It's not prevent, but you're Schaefer's throwing it into traffic. He's gonna have to do. He's gonna have to
people
do
back
it.
there. Yeah, you can only throw short so many times when you have this kind of yardage to try and cover. It's tough to try and get 47 yards into the end zone.
Also safety over the middle too, so even a slant across the middle is not open either.
Yeah, tough ask for the sophomore quarterback. Looking, throwing, Schaefer over the head, incomplete, misread, and now fourth down.
Wow.
And this is huge. If Independence can get this stop, this game's over.
I'm very surprised, honestly. It seems like Schaefer didn't like that ball that came out there.
8 for 16, 113 yards, and 3 interceptions tonight for Zach Schaefer. This may be the most important down he's played this season.
This place will erupt in favor of Independence if they can get this stop and close this game.
And 10 double A. Schaefer in the shotgun. Drops back to pass, looking right side, throws, launches, it is through the hands, and intercepted! It's intercepted! Intercepted! What a play on the outside! Bobby Jackson makes the game a clinching pick.
The ball and the pass was high. It's been high in this drive. Oh, it was off the hands, too, of the receiver. And Independence, Bobby Jackson.
Well, celebrating on the back end, too, AA. What an interception for Jackson. The 4th pick for this Independence defense tonight. And a nail in the coffin of Cuyahoga Heights.
Was waiting on whether or not a turnover was going to make a difference. Finally, it was that one. It was the last turnover.
There was a possibly maybe delay a game or something along those lines.
It'll probably be a celebration, but you'll eat it.
You're not allowed to have fun in high school football.
No,
That's
you'll eat it. Man.
What a win for Independence this will be. Just a formality at this point to take a knee or two. If Coach Martin decides to call a timeout on the first knee, we'll see what he decides to do. But, man, what a play.
They're in victory formation.
They'll take a knee. And I don't believe Coach Martin is signaling for a timeout. He's going to let this clock run, and I believe that's going to be it.
Wow.
The final score here tonight, 22-18. Independence comes into Cuyahoga Heights and gets the job done. The Blue Devils get their 2nd win of the season. They had scored no points the past 3 weeks. They put 22 on the board tonight and get the win.
Tell you what, man, soak this in, because I got to tell you, for this Blue Devils team to get this W, this rivalry game, Coach Adams and his coaching staff did an unbelievable job preparing this team for this game.
How about this win in the Metro Division, too? It's the first game of the divisional conference schedule. We know some CVC teams play cross-conference, cross-divisions, whatever it is, but a huge win in the Metro Division, which we said is up for grabs tonight. There's so much going on, and Independence celebrating with their fans that came out. You mentioned not that much distance between these two teams.
Separated by less than 5 miles, Kyle.
Man, what a game, AA.
Again, we was wondering, God, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. And now here come the students. Here they come.
I'm still looking for that boom box. I guess they decided not to bring that one down tonight.
No, I don't know if that boom box was waterproof there, buddy. But
what a game. What a game.
You remember these moments. You remember the clutch. That drive, that offensive drive that Independence had, their goal-head score. Amazing. Amazing drive.
Phenomenal.
That took, and you're right, it might only took 4 minutes of game action, but in real time it felt like 20. I mean, just the drive right down the field, the direct snaps to Rustler in there, a beautifully executed offensive drive, and a defense, they came through at the end.
I want to talk about the drive, too, with the backup quarterback on 4th down throwing a 22-yard touchdown pass for Independence. Of all things to happen, that setting the stage to tie the game, obviously, with Wrestler running in the 2-point conversion. Everything else going the way it did for Independence. Phenomenal game. Remember, Cuyahoga Heights took the lead with that field goal.
They did.
With about 5 minutes or so to go in the ball game to make it 18-15, but the Blue Devils did not waver. The offense showed up when it mattered most, and they got their 2nd win of the season tonight. AA, what a game. I think it's pretty fair to say our player of the game is going to be Rocco Wrestler. What a night for him. I mean, we can just go down the line at this point, AA. Offensively, 6 carries, 41 yards, and a touchdown. He caught 6 catches for 56 yards and a score. Defensively, 2 interceptions, including the interception return for a touchdown, over 70 yards in the first half. Unbelievable game. Rocco Wrestler is your CVC TV player of the night.
Coach Adams, when he talked to us during the pregame, it was like the Independence head coach. It's like waiting for, we got to put it together. We got to have a game where we just put it all together. And this happened on this night. On this night. It wasn't perfect. It was far from perfect. You can list all the turnovers that both teams committed tonight. But when it mattered most, you saw this. You're seeing it right here, what this game means. The game last year, this was a blowout win for Cuyahoga Heights. And this year, to get the W, just amazing how they were able to close this game out.
It was phenomenal, AA. Again, 22-18, the final score. Independence with a big first win, too, in the Metro Division of the CVC. They improved to 1-0, 2-4 overall. Cuyahoga Heights falls to 2-3 overall, 0-1 in the Metro Division. AA. Cuyahoga Heights, sophomore quarterback in Zach Schaefer. A tough night for him, 4 interceptions. How do you kind of talk to him and respond as they move forward through the rest of the season?
Well, honestly, it's just going to be, you pop on the film for a little bit, you kind of see, there's some decisions that you don't have to go for the home run all the time, right? So kind of wondering where this game was going to go, kind of setting yourself from behind there. But, again, a learning lesson.
Do we have anybody
Coach,
from Cuyahoga Heights that could let us in the building?
I'm going to say this, too, because this point's important. Coach Martin's been doing this as the head coach for –
Good job, by the way, whoever's running the clock.
He did a great job.
Great job running the clock. Great. Coach Martin's been doing this for 28 years.
Yeah.
As the head coach. 28 years. He has seen every situation, every scenario, every win, every loss. He knows the buttons, and his coaching staff, they know the buttons that they need to press, what not to press going into next week. But this is what rivalry games are about. There are certain things that you just don't forecast, and they come through and happen. And I just want to mention, too, that Cuyahoga Heights is huddled up on the 50 while we're watching Independence celebrate, and they're going to celebrate tonight. There you see Cuyahoga Heights. Win, lose, or draw, though, going to get a good piece of Romitos, or a scoreboard sponsor.
I'll tell you what, man. Like I said, we've been blessed to have some great games. Of course, we were at Kirtland Perry a few weeks ago. That was a fantastic matchup. This one, not for lack of drama either. What a game. The final score, 22-18. Independence gets the win. Of course, double I mentioned, I want to thank Romitos Pizza, our scoreboard sponsor for tonight, as well as all the other sponsors for us, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Also want to thank Alpha Animal Removal, Taz Tree Service, Sewer Cleaning Company, R&T Fence, Air Quality Control Heating and Cooling, Greenie Sports Cards, Woodlake Realty, Hobby Motorsports, and the Ohio Media School. Next week, partner, we're at Fairview. Chagrin Falls, Fairview, big matchup. First time. Yeah, first time for me calling a Fairview game. I'm excited about that. I'm checking off a few things off my bucket list this year. So
first time is CVC, us heading over there.
Going to be exciting. We're excited to go to that field out there in Fairview. We were just around the corner over at Lutheran West last week, so it's going to be fun to head back out that way. Again, for my partner, Double A Anthony Alford, I'm Kyle Cord. I want to thank everyone that stopped by, of course, and everyone part of the crew here, as well as the teams in the field. What a game. Final again, 22-18. Independence gets the win. They improve to 2-4 on the season. Have a good weekend, folks.
Hope somebody can get in the building.